Thunder War is here. Let's get ready to rumble. What up, y'all?
How you doing?
Good.
Stormwatch episode 10, The Thunder War.
Feels like ages.
Building to this moment, man. Everything's been building to this moment.
Yeah.
First of all, hats off to you, man. Another Blaze issue. Man. What's up to everybody in the chat? How you guys doing? Maria, how you doing, sir? I'm just getting ahead of myself. I can't wait to get into the book. How are you, Maria?
I'm doing good. It feels like it's been ages since we've spoken and talking about Storm. So I'm excited to be here.
Antoine, how are you, brother?
I'm excited. I'm good. We're finally back. It's been like what, 44, 45 days or something like that. So I'm ready to get into it.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Sorry for the late start. Completely my fault. I'll take the L on that. Completely my fault. We have the late start. I had booked this when I was in another time zone. I was on vacation. I did not account for the time zone difference, so it had to start an hour later than we were supposed to start. But we're here. You guys have been patiently waiting. Thank you. Appreciate every single one of you. Style So Serious, Eclectic Blurty Needs for Man, Black Granite, Kevin Pitts, Anthony Davis, Bonnie Storm, King Sigma, Expensive Paper, Maxine Shaw. Man, Maxine always got something to say. She always got something to say. But that's all right, though. You're a fan. And that means your family, and that means love is loved. Pericles, Dragon Balls in the house. Everybody's here, buddy. All right, let's hadariyao. Let's jump into this. Dr. Wizard, let's bring up our slide. So here we are. Thunder War's finally here.
Thunder War.
Let's do a recap. Let's recap where we are in the Stormverse right now. Last issue, we had this Oblivion is now an issue. We have what's his character's name? I can't pronounce
Abraxas.
Abraxas. That T.
You keep having these foreshadows of something bigger. As big as Thunder War is, you keep foreshadowing this big epic cosmic battle that's going to happen. So that's what's on deck. But before we get there, we still got this cat to deal with, Hadad, the storm god of storm gods. If ever there was an all-father of storm gods, would you say it would be Hadad?
If
ever there was an all-father of storm gods, would you call it Hadad?
Oh, of course, 100% is the first.
Does Hadad have fangs? We'll save that for later. Save that question for later. All right, so that was last issue. We've had a long time since last issue. God, it's feeling like 2 months. I don't know why you guys are doing this to us fans, man. We've been waiting too long. Certain things have happened in the Storm universe. Your boy, Jed McKay, who kind of dodged our questions on the T'Challa relationship, had T'Challa out in limbo, literally, a whole nother universe. T'Challa cowered out. Oh, wait, Storm's joining the team. So there's this other universe.
Peace out.
I'm gonna blaze out, and y'all deal with Storm, and I'll be out. I'll be back sometime. When T'Challa, they're invading. Like, yeah, y'all got this. Y'all, you got Storm. I'm good. I'm out. He's gone for 10 issues or whatever it is. Finally comes back, has the confrontation with Storm. Did you guys talk about this? Did he talk to you about this? Did you talk to him about this at all?
That's the funny thing. I don't think we did, or maybe we talked about it way back, because it's kind of lines up what we both did. T'Challa exited the Avengers for Storm in the Avengers book, and in the Storm book, in Storm 9, T'Challa still being hesitant to talk to Storm. So it lines up, and by now, this month, T'Challa and Aurora reunited, and in this issue, we also get the question where Manifold is beginning to suspect that are they secretly dating again? So it lines up and everything. So even though we didn't coordinate it, it's perfectly coordinated for some
Worked
reason.
out,
So
yeah.
we're connected on in the hive mind.
At the bare minimum, you guys know I'm a T'Challa forever guy. I'm unabashed on that. I unapologetic on that. But at the bare minimum, I've always believed the two of
That
these characters should be best of friends because of
yeah,
their history and their mutual respect for each other. These two people know each other like no other two people. Like they know each other.
the childhood friends.
So they should, at the bare minimum, be best of friends. And
Yeah.
that run by the guy who will never be named by me on a Black Comic Lords channel ever again put them in a state where they were adversaries and hated each other, or she hated him, basically. So I'm glad to see this repair, this bare minimum repair, which I appreciate. But that's not all that happened in the long time you had us waiting for your next issue, Maria. You decided to write a little ditty. You moonlighted on us.
I didn't know you were going to talk about this.
You moonlit on the fans and did a little story in this X-Men Hellfire Vigil.
Yeah, 5 pages.
Did they tell you what you should write or what you should focus on, or they just say, Maria, go do your thing?
Oh, I'm not even sure how long ago I wrote this. I think I wrote it around the time X-Men was coming out. No, not coming out. When I was writing X-Men, it was around that time. I'd written it a while back. By the time the artist got to it, I'd almost already forgotten about it. And by the time it came out, I had almost forgotten about it. So, not really. I wasn't told what to write. It was just a 5-page story revolving around the vigil. And I like doing payoffs. Like when you set up something, let's see the payoff, let's see the ramifications, let's see everything fold up, let's say everything folding, and so I'm like, okay, some things happened in issue 3, and I'm like, let's see the payoff, let's see the implications of it. It's like those things we see in all these very high-end television shows where it might be something as small as a character forgets to lock the door, and the camera just closes in on them forgetting to lock the door, and we don't deal with it, anything. And then, like, 5 episodes later, 12 episodes later, you realize that because they didn't lock that door, something happened, something terrible happened, so just trying to make sure I tie up every loose end so that there's no, oh yeah, this thing just happened for any stupid reason or something like that. So yeah, just try to connect everything. So because of what happened in issue 3, we're able to tease Storm's future child, and from there,
whoa, not so fast, not so fast, Maria. I'm not letting you get away with that, man.
Okay.
Look, this is a murewaayodele story, which means every single freaking panel has some type of Easter egg in it. You're constantly teasing stuff. So I brought this first panel up. You have Storm circling the Earth. She's specifically circling over Africa. And she says mother, right? And then she goes, I'm going to be a mother. Now, the question I have for you on this particular page, who's she referring to? Because in the panel before this, she's having a flashback of her actual mother.
Yeah,
she sees her mother as a child, and then she sees her mother as she gets crushed at her death. And then you have this panel, and she's talking mother Then she exhales and says, I'm going to be a mother. My question
It's
is she talking to the planet Earth as her mother? Or is she referring,
three.
or she kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's in three folds. The first one is a mother, in diary, and it's so mother. I'm going to be a mother. The second one is the earth. Mother, I'm going to become a mother. You can see the view that she's on earth, and the panels before show her mother. And then the third one is a repetition. The way you'll be like, hmm, a brand new car. So I'm going to drive a brand new car one day, you know. So it's a mother. I'm going to be a mother.
Yeah.
So it's however a reader interprets it in any of the three ways it works. It's
Mm.
designed to be that.
All right. So then we talk about this. Storm breaks out her Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation outfit 2025. Looks even better than the original. I even noticed a detail. If you look at the hat that she's holding in her right hand, it
Oh
has a
yeah, the
crown.
crown.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Did you
so.
have input on this look, or you just the artist just go wild?
Oh, I had inputs, and then Luciano Verci also had his own inputs. I wanted the hat. He puts the insignia on it. Um, I wanted the Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson vibe. He went
Yeah,
with it. He was able to put some of the X's in some strategic places. I wanted the braids. He gave her the fur kind of shawl kind of thing.
yeah.
I wanted the spikes. So it's an amalgamation of both our decisions. I love capes. I'm not sure if I mentioned capes or not to him. And then the hair, that it's white that transitions black. That was mine too. So yeah, it's a balance of things we wanted to do and our inspirations, and then also feel militaristic, almost as though Storm is going to break bad at some point in our saga. So to have that vibe, and also a reference to Full Metal Alchemist, which there's a scene that will reference it. And even this page as a whole is also a reference to House of X. I think issue 4, issue 5, where she's giving a speech, and then all the mutants are like, yeah, mutants, just that same. And even the thing
Exact.
she says, is to remind you of day that day that they were surrounded by plants, just like in the Storm Sanctuary, and they defied all expectations. We've seen Genosha before, we've seen Utopia. What made Krakoa different was the miracles they could perform, the miracle of life. And when humans found out, they were like, so these mutants are capable of something so great, you know and just knowing that we can do that alone, it's something huge, it's something big. It's a reference to a lot of things that happens in a lot of colonized nations, especially in Africa and everything. And so many times you've it's changed now because of social media, education, and so many things. But before, you see your colonial masters as this extremely more intelligent, more advanced people. You see some technology that you've not seen before. Over here, our parents, grandparents used to gasp and say Oyinbo. Oyinbo just means the white man. So you see something like, wow, the white man, the things the white man does. So things like that. And but
Yeah,
when
I
you
see you have
realize,
her say they. She says, but they could not live with our greatness. It's like that type of language.
yeah, the outside. So it's but when we've now realized that, oh, some many of these things, especially when we learn about our history, that we could do them too. When it comes to metal works, all those stuff, we were better than them. When it came to artistry, we were better than them. That before the British came to destroy the Benin city, the structures there were more impressive than the Egyptian pyramids.
Yeah.
when you learn that we achieved greatness and we are still capable of it, then that's looking high and mighty at your colonial masters dies off, to be like, I am a god too, we are
Right.
gods. So, and once that has been taken off, then you can always, no matter how what you're going through, no matter how low you are taking, you can always come back, because everything you can use to achieve that greatness is inside of you. So it's what inspired that speech.
Um. Damn, Maria. I think you're going to end up getting accused to be a black nationalist.
Oh, I think I think I saw someone say it and said it's a MAGA speech. I was like, dude, how do you interpret this? So,
Everything
man,
that you said was 100% facts,
Yeah.
and we will never hide from the truth and the gospel that is our history.
yeah,
Um, you know, look up Timbuktu and the libraries and universities there, and where all of Europe went to learn from us. Um, that's important. But so is this moment. You know why? I love the fact that you referenced House of X. I think it was three or four, as you said, that big speech she made about, in essence, mutant and proud. Um, that moment solidified Storm's ascension as the regent slash queen of mutantdom. Um, and it also was the beginning of that great run with Jonathan Hickman and Jerry Duggan and
and then Ali win.
thank you, Al Ewing. I don't know why his name is escaping me. By Al Ewing, in which they really gave Storm a huge glow up in the X-Men universe. This moment also powerful, but also for a different reason. This whole page, what we have here on the screen, is Storm's power, unquestionably. First of all, this takes place in Atlanta at Storm Sanctuary, not
Mhm.
Krakoa, not the X Mansion, her place.
Yeah,
All of mutantdom comes to her place. And you see her crown in the background, right?
yeah,
What crowns her as a goddess in the
Right.
background,
The
right?
diadem.
Her
Mhm.
thank you. This man's educated. Diadem, exactly. And she's talking about they tried to hold us back. They did this, but they could not be. We are, she calls me my mutant siblings. We have already achieved greatness. She does this lightning bolt here, but it's inconsequential because her true power are these words and her standing there and having everyone saying, we will remember, and throwing their fist in the air. She is unquestionably the mutant leader, not
mm-hmm.
Xavier, not Cyclops, not Jean Grey. Storm is the mutant leader, unquestionably.
Well, that's why they call her Earth's mightiest mutant.
Earth's mightiest mutant. This is that moment. This is her
Yeah.
flexing her power, and she doesn't even have to throw them. The lightning bolt's cool for as an effect, but she doesn't even have to throw that lightning bolt. This is her real power, and her real power is the fact that she is a leader. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that and how you talk about the fact that Storm has abilities and strengths that go beyond her powers.
Yes.
Yeah,
Her leadership is something that does not get enough attention and praise and acknowledgement. Is that Storm, above and beyond, is a leader. How the hell, when they did the Illuminati, they did not say, hey, you know what? After Xavier was off the table, Storm should have been in the next in line, honestly, because she's a leader.
no, yeah,
They
but
probably would.
she's
They probably would have
also,
thought she's too righteous.
yeah, they're going to have the same problem they had with Captain America, that they had to wipe his
Yeah, that's
mind
true.
off.
That's true. That's true. She would have taken the high road, and they would have banished her to limbo or something. All right.
Yeah. So just to quickly respond to a question that came up on screen. Okay, so what Stephen was talking about is on the Storm project, Luciano came in as a fill-in artist, and now he's working on Uncanny X-Men. Lucas Wernick was the main artist, and now he's moved to Unbreakable X-Men, which is also the continuation of Uncanny X-Men. So number one, it's a good thing for the Storm series. It's to say it's a profile elevator. That means any artist that comes on our projects is moved to a bigger selling project, So it's an elevator. That's good for us. It's also good for our status, So that's one. And two is that Gail did actually reach out, and I gave her our blessings as the Storm team, so it's fine. And again, we have another artist coming in, and hopefully again it would do so well, and then maybe it will be on Spider-Man or something even bigger or something. So Mario Santoro is on ground now and is doing phenomenal stuff. His pages are just exquisite. So yeah, it's a good sign about the health of the book, that they do such excellent work on the book, and you just have to scoop them up on other projects so that to juice up those projects.
All right. Your new guy is good. Marco, what's his name? Mario Santoro?
Mario's.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about him in a second. We got to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about this, Maria. She takes a pregnancy test, walks into a store, gets a pregnancy test. She's not pregnant. And then she seems very despondent. Now, this is around the time that she's having all these people at her crib, doing the storm, doing the Hellfire Vigil. She goes, I fight for a future that continually remains bleak. I like rain that never gives way to the sun. There's this teardrop that comes down. Is she disappointed that she's not pregnant?
Okay, so number one, anime reference, it's to Full Metal Alchemist, where it's not raining, and the guy's about to cry, and it says it looks like it's raining, and then tears fall down his eyes, So it's a reference, even the line of dialogue. But so that reference aside, now I think people look at this page out of context. You need to look at this page in context with the first page. In the first page, she remembers her mother. She remembers the relationship she has with her mother. She remembers how she lost her mother. And then she braces herself to be like, I'm going to be a mother too, and smiles. She lost a mother-daughter relationship. And she's like, I think I'm about to have another one now. And she's happy about it. We've always known Storm to be this motherly figure. So it's not about, so I see people talking about the paternity. No matter who the father is, does not matter. It's the fact that Storm just saw an opportunity, that having a relationship that she lost very young, and it's made her happy. And her hopes got up. And in this scene, it's dashed. I would use something as an example now. Even people that deliberately go for an abortion, some still cry afterwards. Because even though they did not want it, a part of them still thought of what could have happened. You've seen the birthday of that kid, you've seen age 5, you've seen age 10, you've seen so many things, and it's like all that all that plan, all that future memory. It's not memory yet, but all that dream, it's just gone all of a
Yeah.
sudden. And that's what it is. And I think because people are so caught up with fandom, relationship stuff, anything, they get carried away with that to be like, who's going to get pregnant for Wolverine and start crying, and it's like, it doesn't matter who the father is. It's the fact that it's still a daughter. It's still whatever gender of the child is. And the hope had developed. There's a connection that had developed that, oh, I think I'm pregnant, and I'm going to be a mother, and suddenly it's gone, and so, and that's just the dash that she got there, and it's also coming at a time. If you've been reading the Storm series, again, these are not things that are out of context. This is also something that Fall of X has happened. After Fall of X, she's been dying, after that, there's an entity that's taking control of her body. There's all these things. She is under so much stress, and one little thing gave her hope, and it's gone. So yeah, so that's it's all those things put into context,
The possibility of her having the same type of relationship she's missed with her own mother, that possibility is gone, and she is emotional about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I could, I'll share something about my own life, my own story, a vulnerable moment with you guys, which is relatable, which is why this page was especially kind of poignant for me, is because I was at one point in my life, not too long ago, I was engaged, and there was a pregnancy. She did choose to end the pregnancy for several reasons, but I was not prepared for the emotional sort of aftermath of that, because I realized, whoa, this is the life that we created together. And even though I knew there was some stuff that was going on that led her to make the decision that she made, it was still sad for me. And that was probably maybe 5, 6 years ago now. But there's a certain point in the year, every time when the child would have been born, that I still get a little sad. And it took me a minute to realize why that was. And I said, oh, that's when the baby would have been born. So it's a real thing. And I think people completely miss the emotional importance of this scene.
Yeah. And they
Well,
get
thank you for
carried away
sharing.
with, yeah, they get carried away with race. Oh, it's because it's a white child. And they get with also that let's look at the emotional relevance of this. It's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
All right. So in the midst of this emotion,
Eternity's petty ass.
Eternity is not a good person or a good entity. This selfish dude is like, look, you over here crying in the corner. I got stuff to do. You're my host. I can't have my host being all depressed and thinking about stuff that's not relevant to my needs. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm going to allow you to look through my eyes into the future so you can get out your feelings. Pretty accurate summary, right? This guy. Storm really needs to kick his ass. But anyway, I digress. Gets a glimpse into the future
And
for
look
a
at that
brief
cutie.
moment so she will know joy, the future. Not a future. Morea specifically wrote the future, as in this is canon, as we like to say. You have this little girl who's going to be born on June 16th, 4 days after my birthday. And he says, since you're no longer talking, I guess it's time. Mama asked me to show you this. June 16, 616, the date and time so you can remember to tell me in the
616.
future to do this. Oh, my hair? You've always liked my hair. I wish I got your white hair, though, but as you say, Maria, it skips a generation. But I got Papa's black hair instead and his fangs. Now, there was a lot of debate on the internet. Who's the Papa? Wolverine's got black hair.
And fangs.
T'Challa's got black hair. Forge has black hair. Who's the dad? And then fangs. Well, T'Challa doesn't have fangs. Not normally.
It does in some illustrations.
He does in some illustrations, most notably with my boy, my man, my hero, Dennis Cowan's run. He drew T'Challa with fangs and I thought looked cool with him. So that's a possibility. But then we see this other line. And because it's like Morea already knows that the thoughts are running through our heads when we see this about the hair and the fangs. Our minds are already racing. So what does he go? He goes, and not so fast. He goes, and yeah, I got your blue eyes. Here's the part that people are skipping. Yours and Papa's powers. Yours and Papa's powers. Like they're the same power. What the Storm and the baby's daddy power have in common. This is the part that people keep skipping over. So boys at school won't mess with me. And as she's doing that, her hand is up and you see the electricity rattling through her hands. So whoever her dad is has either some type of storm manipulation, wielding power, electricity wielding power, some type of energy manipulation power. Is what I'm guessing. But then it occurred to me. Of all the possibilities, we have never seen. Oh crap! This is what happens when I have to do the stuff. We've never seen this dude smile. Look at his hair. Kind of looks like same hair. Look at his hands. His hands seem to glow just like Storm's. But we don't see the dude smile. He's up, he exists before mankind. So he might have some vestigial fangs as some type of primordial entity from back in the day. So Maria, is this the daddy? It's a dot, isn't it? Go ahead. Tell me I'm right.
And I cannot reveal.
That's you saying I'm
right. It has to be done within the pages.
Storm's gonna have a baby with Hadad. I'm calling it. All right.
Well, I love the discussions anyway. I've seen the other theories, and like you just said, they make a lot of sense. The T'Challa theories, which I think you skipped through with the images, the fact that in Wakanda there's a location called Furaha as well.
Oh, you're jumping ahead.
Yeah, and I think someone said the royal family doesn't go to school. In this exact comic of Black Panther, Long Live the King, you will see T'Challa as a kid in school playing soccer. So all these people that try to he's not doing his research. This exact book that has Furaha in this as an apartment complex has T'Challa playing soccer as a kid. So according to this book, the royal family does go to school. Mm-hmm. They are not privately tutored only. So there's that too. So, and then the Wolverine story 1-2, there's also that. There's also debates for it as well. That also works.
Maxine Shaw stole my question. So this is because that's why I loaded this up. This has been popping up. You're gonna tell me there's just a coincidence that the child's name is Faraha, and that's the name of this apartment complex from this Black Panther Long Live the King? Is this just a coincidence?
Well, I do sometimes talk about Inendio Okorafor. So
You talk about what?
I do often talk about Inendio Okorafor, and I think she wrote this issue.
Uh-huh. That's not really an answer.
It might be a coincidence.
It might be a coincidence. What does Faraha mean?
It's both Swahili and Arab for joy. Even the narration when Eternity was talking, it says no joy. Yeah. So saying no joy as about be happy, and also saying no joy because Faraha's name is Joy. So it's also a double meaning statement.
Mm-hmm. Bastard.
For a brief moment, no joy is what it's.
Yeah.
Very top.
Because she's only going to talk to Faraha for a brief moment. So for a brief moment, no joy.
It says the future. Is
so
this
Faraha is talking to Storm?
Yes.
Interesting. I don't think a lot of people knew that.
Yeah, it's Storm's POV, but it's Storm in the future's body, but the eyes of Storm in the past.
Interesting.
Is this a future or is this the future, Maria?
I think Marvel will decide.
Marvel would decide. So this isn't written in stone. All right. We'll see. We will see. We at least have a year until June 16th, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least 1 year, if not more. We'll see. Okay. Moving on. So we spent a lot of time talking about what's been happening. Because look, it's not my fault. You dragged this out because you made us wait damn near 2 months for this next issue. So let's jump into the next issue.
We had a lot to talk about while waiting with just 5 pages.
All right.
Those 5 pages wreaked a lot of havoc.
They wreaked a lot of havoc. You set the internet on blaze with that. We got these 3 covers, all dope. Shout out to Karen Darbo with the incentive, getting an incentive variant there on the right.
Yeah.
You start this issue with a bang, literally. Yeah. With my second favorite X-Men, Bishop.
Lucas.
This is my dude.
Having the same name with the artist.
He has been my dude since the minute he appeared in Will Sportacio's portrayal of him.
Yes.
This is my
Number
dude.
281, right? Uncanny 281, I think it was.
I love Bishop. This is my guy.
I think like someone said, I think in an old story was bald while he was trying to kill a baby. So, but here he has hair while trying to keep a child.
We don't talk about that time period. Okay,
that was unfortunate. Very unfortunate time period.
That was some of the worst writing. We don't talk about that. Just like I don't talk about the guys whose names shall never be said. I don't talk about that part of Bishop's history. For me, it doesn't exist. I ignore it. All right, so that was your opening cut.
I forgot to send you the image. What this was referencing.
What this was referencing? This page right here?
Yeah, there's this. I think. Do you know the name of the artist, Antoine? Where Storm is in this beautiful spacesuit.
Oh, Art Adams. Yeah,
Art Adams. Yeah,
I'll find it.
Yeah, it's a reference to it. So that's why she's wearing. So that's why she wears the spacesuit to reference that. And I see some people say she doesn't need a spacesuit. Well, it's complicated. It's complicated.
Yeah, it's kind of complicated. There was what comic was that?
It's in Sword. I think it's an issue of Sword or X-Men Red. One of it. She can take some of the atmosphere with
and surround herself.
And surround herself. And in any of those stories, she's only there for a short period of time
Right.
because she has hair with her. Yeah. But I think Arthur Adams, that's the name of that. But if she's going to
Yeah,
be
Arthur
there
Adams.
yeah, but if she's going to be there for 4 days, as this story says, she needs to, yeah, that's the artwork. Yes.
What
That's the
book is
artwork.
that from, Art? Antoine?
It's just a pinup that they did
It's
that
just a
he did
pinup.
for classic X-Men when they were
Oh,
doing
okay.
Yeah, it's
that.
just a pinup.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but if they're going to be there for 4 days, yeah,
Yeah,
that's why they
yeah,
have extra oxygen tanks
right.
packed.
Because
So
why would
yeah,
you
she's
want
not
to
going
do
to.
that for 4 days?
Yeah, and you're not going to. That means she's not going to sleep. She's not going to do
Right.
anything. She's not
Yeah.
going to relax. She's going to use her powers to hold in air. She's not like Superman or any of those other ones that say, like, oh, I just don't need to breathe. She does need to breathe, but she just carries the atmosphere with her.
Right.
But she needs to sleep. So for 4 days, she needs a suit. So it's not like we forgot.
So you send them out on a mission. First of all, who's sending her out on this mission? It says the National Aeronautics and Space Administration reports this planet. It's kind of blocking their view. This entity is blocking their view of this planet. Um, who's sending her on this mission? Is it NASA? Is it the U.S. government?
It's me just showing a day in the life of an Avenger. Um, Avengers have missions that are just like that nobody does. That is just there, like stuff you can always pick up to do. You know, and yes, so NASA needs their view cleared. So it's something that's just there. But it's not like, yeah, Storm can use, like a strategy. Storm can use a stone to kill two birds. I can help NASA out and use that for my battle, So yeah.
So she kind of volunteered for this mission, understanding that there is an ulterior motive that we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yes.
Got
Yeah.
you. So she recruits a couple other guys to go help her on this Avengers mission.
Yeah. And she already recruited them in Storm 8.
What is this thing?
Oh, it's from a story Dr. Akande and I told in Avengers Unlimited, ironically called the Kaiju War, which so this is one of the corpses, the Kaiju that was left in space that the Avengers didn't,
Clean up.
couldn't do anything about. Yeah, they clean up. So this is us tidying up our mess that's we did in that story, using Thunder War to clean up after Kaiju War. So
So
it's nice.
Avengers dropping bodies and not cleaning up the bodies afterwards.
Technically, they didn't drop this body. He's just one of the, um, I've forgotten the phrase for it. Um, when some things are destroyed, but it's not your fault, it's just part of.
Collateral damage.
Collateral damage here.
Yes, thank you. Collateral damage.
What issue was that Avengers Unlimited story? Do you know?
Avengers Unlimited issue 9 to 11. This
9 to
particular monster is in issue 9.
All right, I'm gonna look that up because I didn't know that. Okay, so here's the mission.
Yeah,
First of all,
it's beautifully painted by Dotun. Like Dotun does like his full, the way it colors his cover pages. He
yeah.
does that for each panel for that Marvel Unlimited comic.
Oh,
It's
bro,
sick.
you sold me when you said Doton. I'm whatever Doton does, I'm gonna buy. It's the fact. It's just what I do.
Riri, Rhodey, and Tony Stark. So it's the Iron Trinity. They are the star of the show. They have
In that issue?
Yeah.
Oh snap! I'm definitely gonna get that. All right.
So it's a black team too. It's mostly black team too. So it's nice.
I love the witty repartee between Maggot and Manifold. I mean, Maggot's over here. Manifold's. You're gonna eat this whole thing, Maggot. I mean, you're getting this crappy job. How's it even gonna? How is this even gonna work? He's like, and Maggot's like, look, I could explain it to you, but this is Omega level stuff, dude. You're not gonna. It's just like a regular mutant.
Yeah.
Flexing his Omega status.
Yeah. It's
Now the cool thing
Maggot
is,
is yeah.
you still have not revealed at this point what it means for Maggot to be Omega level, and we'll talk about that in a sec. But I love the fact that he kind of feeling himself, because as I've told you before, hey, the Ton's in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing? We're just talking about you. As I've told you before, I was never a fan of Maggot until your series. Now he's getting, you're developing him as a character, developing his sense of humor. He's getting a little swagger to him. I'm liking Maggot now, so thank you for that.
Yeah. I'm glad.
So I also love, the Manifold Shuri relationship, and I love how he teases him and says, "Hey, look, it's Shuri." And he's like, "What?"
And I don't know if people notice, it tried using a mouth spray in space, and the helmet
got
is
on
I
his
just
didn't
shield.
notice
just
that.
wasting it. Yeah, it's in the script. It tried using a mouth spray in space. It's like, what are you doing?
Wait,
So
first of all, why does he have a mouth spray in his hand on his spacesuit in space anyway?
Steez, he's the cool guy.
He's funny. All
He's got
right.
to be ready.
Oh, jeez. So he goes, Master Gateway said you're not allowed to teleport me into the living planet's butt crack. Please tell me that's not something he can actually do.
So,
Of
okay,
course he
two
can.
things. Number one, in this conversation and in this joke, I've actually kind of revealed that Margot's power set has increased.
Yeah.
His Omega status and the fact that now we can eat way more. And I just gave the dimensions for it. That it just eats a tri-state area.
Mhm.
So, like, think about how big tri-state area is. It just ate that in 4 days. I just, even though it's just jokes, I just gave you like actual figures of his speed and how fast he can consume, how large he can consume things, just in, through the jokes and everything like that. So, and also establish the relationship that Shuri and Manifold has is still in play, and all those stuff. So, through the jokes, there are lots of things that I was able to quickly set up.
Look, Manifold is officially part of the Storm team, which I'll also talk about in a sec. But please tell me, at some point, can you please have a Shuri and Manifold moment in this book? Because I love them as a relationship.
Okay, I can say this. I wanted to have I wanted to have a scene where Shuri and Manifold were making out, about to do the deed, and Storm walks in on them and is like, "Oh Jesus!" Like, no, 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 and it's really embarrassing for the both of them, and it's terrible, and it's everything, and that was supposed to be like a sick opening scene I planned, but I was like, hey, can I use Shuri? And Toby's like, not yet, because she's not on Earth right now. She's in space.
All right, but this is a storyline that I need you to make happen. I mean, as soon as you get the green light, you need to do that. All right.
Yeah.
You mentioned this before.
Yeah.
Truth or dare? Truth. Are you and Emperor T'Challa secretly dating again? Let me unpack this. First of all, thank you for referencing T'Challa as Emperor T'Challa. I love that.
Yeah, not king. Yeah.
Not king. He's the emperor. Thank you for recognizing.
Because it's the empire of,
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then in the context of this is why I started out with what's been happening in the last 6 weeks since we last had the show. They reconciled their friendship again. Is this just an Easter egg you're dropping, or is this like a real possible thing? Black Panther fans are going to ask me. I get called out when I don't ask these questions, so I'm going to ask. And you're looking at me, and you're saying, This is where you go read the book.
Okay, read the book, I guess.
Yeah.
Follow the series.
Yes. Anything is possible in comics. You never know.
Anything is possible in comics. I get frustrated asking these questions, but I gotta ask. All right, look.
Oh wait, did
More
we
important,
we didn't have the other page though. I don't think we had it added where the next day where they said truth or dare and she says dare and they say I dare you to tell the truth.
Yeah.
I don't want to give away everything, but yes, that was a very funny moment. All right, now we go from funny to important. Um,
Oh
as
yeah.
a black comic lord, we appreciate when there are moments in comics, particularly
Mhm.
moments that are first appearances, um, what we call keys, comic book keys. And for those who don't know, this book, on a number of levels, is a comic book key, but specifically because of this particular page right here, this panel. This is Orun, the realm of the Orishas. Can you talk about what this is?
So the Orun, the realm of the Orishas, or also said the realm of the Voodoo, has been referenced in Marvel Comics before, in the Thor comic, one of these classic Thor comics. It's also been referenced in the Marvel Encyclopedia, but we've never seen the location. So we're setting up that location, how it looks like with this panel. So the birds there are the African egrets, in Yoruba, they're called leke leke. They're this like white stuff that form on your nails. So there's this like legend that it's not just limited to Yoruba, it's an African thing. That if you see them flying and you sing a song, and they are pleased, those stuff will form on your hand, almost like I don't know. So there's that. Then there's the Irok, those pillars, they are shaped after something called Irokefa, which are like this, just the way you have your pen to work, it's what an herbalist, a voodoo priest, yeah, a juju priest, yeah, uses, when they're doing like the old voodoo stuff, And then the sword there, which is also giant shaped, is the Ida, is the Yoruba sword. It's most swords are thick around the middle and then they taper off at both ends, or they are thick at the end and then they taper off. But for this one, it's leaf shaped. So that means it actually becomes bigger. So the end is the biggest. So it's a leaf shaped sword. It's called the Ida. So that's how the Yoruba swords are. So yeah, it's try to like give some visual representation the way you're like, oh, you see some visual anchors and like, oh yeah, this is Asgard. So I want to be able to see some visual cues and be like, yeah, this is Orun. So trying to establish that.
It's the Orishas version of Asgard. Um, what makes this a black key, or specifically a comic book key? This is the in my belief, this is the first depiction of Orun in Marvel Comics. First time. That
Mm-hmm.
makes this a comic book key. It's kind of like, it's no different than if you see Asgard for the first time in comics. That's a key. This is a comic book key, and murewaayodele did it. So shout out to him, and I appreciate the fact. That's why I wanted to give you a moment to explain this particular panel, because you put so much thought and detail into this depiction, that you really deserve
Yeah.
credit for. Shout out to you for that, man.
Yeah. The similarity with the Storm Sanctuary is they are technically both, modeled after, an African reserve kind of look and feel.
Mm.
So they are both that. So like you see the hippos and the giraffes, you're seeing the egrets here, So they're both modeled after that, but they have their own unique features, You see those cone-shaped stuff in Storm Sanctuary, and then the Storm Sanctuary plants are green, Here, everything is white. The reason why they look like pale peach is because they are a reflection of the sun. So yeah, it's whiter here, like holy, so there's less color here compared to Storm Sanctuary. yeah, and then the monuments that you see. The monuments here are more Yoruba shaped, while the monuments in Storm are more tech based. So there's differences. What you are seeing is the plant life. Those are the similarities, which, yeah, they are similar in that way.
The pastel color scheme reminds me of Miami in the 1980s.
Nice.
I want to
Never
give a
been
shout
there.
out to everyone who has given us super chats. Want to recognize them. Derek, can you bring those up real quick? Henny Good Slick, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Expensive Paper, congrats on the Storm series, Maria. You really made a new fan of Haddad, and thanks for the Blue Marvel cameos. Yes, sir.
Thank you
Indeed.
very much. It's a pleasure.
Steven Turner, always throwing your support. Appreciate you. Blade Vampire Storm again.
Oh,
The
yeah.
fangs.
Blade
You
does
forgot
have
to mention
fangs.
that. Yeah, and black hair.
No electricity powers though. For us, name we saw this one. Thank you, Maxine. Appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. All right, let's go on to our next slide. So then Maria goes from depicting this heavenly body to showing Storm on the warpath, because you have this beautiful Orun. You hear the birds chirping. You see the sunlight coming in. You see the pastel colors. Everything is beautiful. And you got Storm
Shango
coming
wakes
in.
up. Yeah, Shango wakes up in the background that feels reminiscent to Ghost in the Shell. You know, how she wakes up with that scenery of the city, So yeah, and then Storm just shows up in the shadows.
You slept with your eyes closed. I warned you not to.
Not
Damn, Maria, that's cold.
Storm is cold.
My man's chilling. His bucket naked. He's got his girls. He's enjoying himself. Storm's like, yeah, you slept in the shadows. You caught you sleeping, dude. Caught you slipping.
She's
Time for
gangster.
war. So he goes, "Oh, you
This
gonna step up on me, little demigod person who runs away from battle? All right,
yeah,
come. You want a box? Step into the ring."
yeah. One of
He
the
calls
things
he
that
calls this axe. What is this axe?
I don't think I know the axe. I might check if Shango's axe has a name, but I don't think I know it.
You got to come up
One
with
of the
something cool.
things, yeah, one of the things that helps in collaboration, that the creativity of the art and the creativity of the writer coming in together, is in my script, is as Shango is summoning all this lightning, Storm channels everything to the tip of her blade, like a
Right,
pole, like a lightning rod,
right.
you know. But what Lucas does, that it feels like this shield, like this force field, that everything just moves around that. It's so much more visually engaging and nice, and it's so cool. So yeah, it's really, really nice.
So she mentions you came to my planet. You conjured stuff that took the lives of innocent people. I didn't do anything to you. You just attacked me like I was an animal or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, in order for me to escape you attacking me, I had to do the unthinkable. The moment I knew was going to happen, the minute I saw that issue, I was like, there's got to be a reckoning for the fact that Storm had to cut her hair. You made me cut my hair. God, this page. I mean,
Lucas and Alex are cooking.
I could see any black woman who's ever been put in this position having the same reaction.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And the
Yes.
fact that her hair is kind of is flowing behind her, and you see the gradient of color because she had to put the extensions in. Man,
Yeah, now I think now with the dialogue, now it now makes sense why we chose black extensions.
Mhm.
Imagine people reading this issue for the first time and it's white extension. They'll be like, what hair did she cut?
right,
It's all white.
right. It makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. Really powerful page. Shout out to our artist Lucas Wernick. This is beautifully done. This is
Yeah.
fire.
And our friend Alex Guimares,
Yeah,
colorist.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's dope. That could be a poster right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he mentions here lightning infused with solar radiation to keep me from escaping. What the heck is he talking about?
Oh, number one, that panel is inspired from X-Men Worlds Apart, I think,
Mhm.
where Storm, I think T'Challa was influenced by what's the name of
Shadow
that
King or
entity?
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Storm had to like create like this rapid cage of lightning that shoots down. Yeah, so it's inspired by that. But I'm like, yeah, but that is not going to work against the thunder god. Thunder gods
Yeah.
can channel electricity through their body
Yeah.
easily. So I'm like, okay, so what if we poison the lightning, So what's a natural poison that a storm god, a weather manipulator will be able to do? Oh yeah, let's put solar radiation in it. So yeah, so it's basically lightning that has been poisoned with solar radiation. So if you try to absorb it like you would absorb electricity, you would be absorbing solar radiation.
Has Storm ever had this flex before?
I don't
'Cause
think so.
this is the new flex
Not in
because
this way. No.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Storm, we talk about she's a weather goddess or what have you, but at the end of the day, she's an energy manipulator, an omega powered energy manipulator. So it makes perfect sense that she's is able to manipulate solar radiation. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool to see you expand on the concept that she's an energy manipulator, not just a weather goddess. She doesn't just do
Yeah,
lightning and rain, you know.
it's inspired by Alioin. Alioin finds very creative ways to use Storm's powers, and also
Exactly.
established that the reason why Storm wins a lot of fights is not just because of the overwhelming power, it's not just because she's Omega level, is because she's versatile with it. She knows how to mix and match better than anyone. So it's like, oh yeah, she's going to do something that we've not seen other storm gods do because she
Yeah.
knows how to, it's about versatility. I think that's the panel. So
Yeah, there's comments here about me talking about cutting her hair. There's a difference between a person cutting their hair because they want to cut their
Absolutely.
hair and someone
Absolutely.
forcing you to cut
Right.
your hair
Right. And
yeah,
she's
against
cut her
your
hair
will.
before when she
Yeah,
wanted to. She's cut her
I'm
hair.
not saying black men don't cut their
like
hair. It's the difference when you force them to have to cut their hair because they're about to die if they don't. That's a
not
big that's
to yeah, not to like impose or anything, but I think even women generally, the hair is almost ritualistic at times. Sometimes you go through a bad breakup and you almost use that hair to be like, yeah, you know what, I'm done with this guy, this hair that I'm
Hmm.
cutting, this is
Hmm.
everything, I'm done with this person. The new hair is the new me, and all those
right.
stuff. So it's kind of it's very symbolic. So, and it must always be a choice. So but when that choice is taken from you, it's something else.
Right. It's about agency. And
Yeah.
Storm has
Yeah,
already had issues with that in this series. Somebody else forcing her to do things she doesn't want to do.
yeah.
Speaking of agency, one of the things I've commented about Maria in this run is giving oftentimes these black superheroes, these characters, agency in these stories in a way that's not been done before, besides making them background characters. And what I mean by that is, and I refer to this as a flex, right? Where she's using the solar radiation. It's a new power. We haven't seen her do that before. But on the same panel, look at what's written here. Storm was not always the juggernaut that she is today. There were decades of her life when she did not even possess her mutant abilities. To win battles, to win fights, she had to rely on skill and cunning. And that is what makes this kind of powerful because you're seeing her flex this new power, but that's not her end game. That's actually not even her strategy for this battle,
Right.
you know. And we see that there's a bigger play that's in play. Um She fought everything her world could throw at her to become Earth's mightiest mutant, the Omega of Omegas, the Omega Annihilator. What does that mean?
I think it was established with Jerry Dugan and Ali Owen, that Storm is the Omega of Omegas. And in the Genesis War, where she was fighting Apocalypse and his children, they were all Omega level mutants, and she was able to take them down. So it's almost like of all the other Omega level mutants, she's the most skilled at taking down other Omegas. You see
Hmm.
Omega levels, oh yeah, you take down another Alpha, this thing, but she's almost like throughout history, even before Ali, she's like the Omega level mutant that is skilled at taking out other Omega level mutants.
She
Yeah.
took out
Yeah.
death. She
Hmm.
took out
Yeah.
death.
By outsmarting him.
So yeah. So people think I was just spewing, was like, no, like she in history, in the books, she's the Omega level mutant that takes down other Omega level mutants,
Right.
the
Yeah.
Omega Annihilator. So
And
that's
it wasn't just
is
about her powers. Even when she
Right.
didn't have powers, she was taking out cats. X-Men
Yeah.
201. She becomes leader of the X-Men by how? Taking out Cyclops'
that's-
pure hands. No
Yeah.
powers.
with that power, with true cunning and strategy.
Hmm.
So here we go with the strategy part. You're like, why is Maggot eating the carcass of this kaiju? And then we see, what does it mean for Omega level Maggot? Talk about this.
Yeah, so it's one of the reasons, it's one of the things we are showing, for in the Marvel universe, being an Omega level just means you have no upper limits. I think that's the difference. That's what people didn't get when an Omega level mutant is possessed by a cosmic entity. They're like, it shouldn't be different. It's like, oh, the person is already infinite. Being Omega level does not mean you are infinite. Being Omega level just means you don't have an upper limit. Now, how fast can you reach that? How fast can you grow? How quickly can you? It's still up to, like Iceman is an Omega level. That means he can keep freezing things infinitely, you know. But it's like, can Iceman freeze the universe just like that? No, you know. If it's going to even freeze the entire planet, it's going to take him some time. So, but if Iceman, for example, had, let's say, the Phoenix Force powering him up, or Eternity or something, oh, then you see him like, oh yeah, he's frozen like 3 planets, bam, at a go. So that's the difference. So the difference between Maggots and Galactus is that, oh yeah, Galactus will just eat a planet now, and that's all. If Maggot is going to eat a planet, maybe to probably take him like a month or something. So we're saying him like, oh, it took him 4 days to eat this thing, but he can, before, he will probably use the energy bit by bit and just add the limits where he can grow. But now there's no limit to how large he can grow. So you see him becoming Titan sized. And so that's the benefit of being Omega level for him.
I kind of skipped over this. I apologize. How did they get into Orun?
Through Manifold.
Through Manifold. Well, so look at this line at the bottom here. Thereafter, she simply had to step onto a battlefield and victory was assured. We're talking about her power set. But her overwhelming power had grown to eclipse the baser strengths that once defined her. The fact that she's a master strategist. That's the part that, you know, she does not get enough credit and acknowledgement for.
That
Um,
narration is also very meta. I'm not only talking to the audience, I'm also talking to like other creators and everything in the narration, because she's so powerful, she's an Omega level mutant. If you also want to use that for an event, you want to use that for a story, what do you do with that? Which is not bad. That's what the chess piece is. You're like, oh yeah, things are getting crazy. Bring in the chess piece of the Omega Annihilator, bring Storm in, and then end the battle. So you keep her for that thing. But because she's so powerful and we keep using her for that thing, which is not bad too. Those are the things that made her more relevant and destined, look at her being the one to end the fall of X, gave her this much relevance in mutant history. It's good. But because we keep using her for that, I think a lot of people have forgotten that she's a master strategist. You know, that's why people say, oh, she can lead the X-Men. We're not saying she can lead the X-Men because she's powerful. We're saying she can lead the X-Men because she's highly intelligent and strategic.
This is, again, why I love this run of Storm. You are writing her as a tier 1 character, because she is. Prior to 2016, you could argue she was Marvel's biggest black character before T'Challa popped up in Civil War, and everyone, oh wow, who's this guy named Black Panther? And he had all these bandwagon fans becoming Black Panther fans because of the MCU. She was Marvel's #1 black character. But she's never been written that way, in her own series. And the building of this character from the ground up. And it's not even like you're doing a bunch of radical, every issue you're just creating new stuff. I love the fact that you go back into lore and you simply expound upon what other writers have done. Like you said, Al Ewing already talked about the fact that she has this ability to do these things, and you're simply expounding upon that to its logical conclusion. Even Manifold. Look what you did with Manifold. Oh, he can do gateways. He can transport, but you took his power to the next level. He has demonstrated his ability to do gateways, to do transports anywhere in the galaxy, anywhere in the universe, right? But you're saying, well, that's just not the limit of his power, because now he can go to other dimensions. It's logical extension. Pocket dimension. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think in Uncanny X-Force, when the X-Force there went to the Age of Apocalypse, and when they wanted to return the gadget they needed to return was stolen or something, the next possible person they could meet to get them there was Gateway. They needed to get to Gateway. So, and we also know that Gateway and Manifold they have been teased in some stories to almost be the same person, and their power set is similar. They both talk to the universe. So I'm like, okay, if Gateway can move you from one universe entirely, like the Age of Apocalypse to 616 to all those stuff, yeah, they can reach outside this universe, So Manifold should be able to as well. So it's that kind of logic I kind of used to say, yeah, those two. I think I got a question about magic. That magic can also reach outside the universe too. I'm not completely super versed with magic's teleportation, but to the best of my knowledge, I think magic has to get to limbo first, then get to another place if she wants to leave the universe. It's limbo is like it has to be like the middle ground, It's like, oh, go to limbo, then from limbo, then go to another universe or something like that, And this is not what they need. They need someone that can go directly to that place. And I think it's only for at least to the best of my knowledge, I think it's only Manifold and
Gateway
that can do that.
Yeah. Lila Cheney had the ability to make big jumps as well, but we haven't seen her in a long time. But anyway, one of the dimensions Manifold's able to tap into is the pocket dimension, and Storm uses that as her own little personal prison
that she names after some of our, daughter figures. Again, hinting at the fact that she's always had this mother role. Marisol and Abeni are daughter figures she's had in comic history.
Hmm. I love the fact that we viewed this as the beginning of Storm War, not realizing Storm War already began. The Thunder War already began because
Yeah.
Chalk's already there.
Chalk's already there.
Yes.
Shango shows up. He's like, wait. Chalk?
Chalk?
What are you doing here? She
I
got you
love
too.
this part. This is so funny.
Yeah. I hope I'm correct. JAAJ. I had to look for like the language Chuck would have been speaking in his era and try to do some linguistic stuff and other stuff. So I think in his language that is yes. Yes, Shango, it is I.
Wow. All
Yeah,
right.
I love that part.
The mutant child comes for us all. I love it. They're not even referring to her as a fellow god yet.
Oh no
They're
no
still
no no no!
referring
They
to
still
her
see her as a non-entity. They don't
as a
even see Rita as
non-entity.
a
Just the
storm god.
mutant child comes for us all. All right. So just this one little panel here at the bottom. Shout out to you. As a black comic lord, I love having these moments of black characters, and I've mentioned this, and I've tried to keep it on a low about how you keep introducing all these black characters in this run, and we're trying to keep it on the low because we don't want certain
You're
fans
right. Right.
to make a big deal of that and label this book a black book. We don't want that to happen.
I think there's only one non-black character in this entire book. If we count Galactus, then two.
Well, you had the Xmen in issue 3, right?
No. I'm talking about in this particular issue in Storm 10.
On this particular issue, yeah.
Yeah, this particular issue. I think it's only Galactus and Jaden.
Yeah.
That are
But
non-black.
I mean, I'm looking at this visual, a very powerful storm, with an Omega level maggot through a portal done by Manifold. And I'm like, Storm has her own team. She has her own super team. And this team is powerful. They just literally took on a freaking god and won.
Mm-hmm.
Not just based on power, but on strategy.
Mm-hmm. Allow me to be the person to give Tom Brevoort that kudos. I see that he gets a lot of hits online about the black male mutant, and I'm like, and people are like, why doesn't he hire someone that would do it? And I'm like, dude, why are people pretending as if it's not already happening in the Storm book? Like a lot of the black male mutants are in the Storm book. And like you said, they're shining, they're getting their shine, you're seeing them in interesting ways, and so many of they're here, And I think I saw one comment, I think someone said Imperial is making T'Challa shine while Tom Brevoort is still struggling with black mutants or something like that. And I'm like, you do know that the editor of Imperial is Tom Brevoort. I think people still don't know that. Like, yeah, the Imperial that T'Challa is shining is Tom Brevoort as the editor. Tom Brevoort used to be a former editor of Black Panther books. Like
it was Will Moss was not the editor of Imperial. Let me shut up before I get in trouble.
It's true.
So
let me move on.
There's a lot of levels to that conversation that people, I think, are not really able.
You might not like the man,
Yeah.
but let's not pretend that some things about him are not true. Like,
Yeah.
he's been putting black content there without making noise for years, and he's still doing it till now.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. Tom, the most important thing Tom Brevoort said when he came on this channel was it was a challenge to his writers. Write black characters better. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
it just requires intent, and it requires, you know,
Um,
a modicum of desire to write the characters better. You just give them agency, give them stuff to do, build on what's there. You don't even have to create new characters. There's more than enough
Yeah.
Black Mutant
temper
characters in
around,
Marvel.
yeah,
Be like, oh, we need more.
temper
No, we
around.
don't. We don't
Uh-huh.
need more Black Mutants. We don't. Fight me
Yeah,
on that. We
temper.
don't need more.
Yeah,
There's plenty of them.
yeah.
They're just not
Mm-hmm.
being used. Someone said, hey, tag is around. There's plenty of Black Mutants, particularly after Krakoa, where they brought back all the mutants that died.
Mm-hmm.
Just use them.
Look at
Writers, ex
yeah,
offices. Morea's
temper
giving
around
you
some.
he's giving you a playbook. It's not that
Yeah.
difficult. You just gotta do it.
And you have to show up for the books and buy them.
And then
We
us
have
as
to add that
fans
part.
have to recognize when it's being done and go pre-order the books.
That's what I'm saying. Money is the motive at the end of the day. People get mad at me for saying this, but I know we want to see Sync. I know we want to see Monet. I know if it's not going to make them money, if they don't think it's going to make them money, they're not going to do it. We have
Yeah.
to show them that the desire is there by supporting the books that are out that have Black leads. Period. That's it.
Speaking of Monet, she needs to join the team. Throw that out there. Throw it out there. Every mutant team's got to have a telepath type, telekinetic type person. Have Monet join the team. She ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, but we don't know if that's So
go talk to Tom about it, because I don't know what the plans are with Age. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about your revelation.
All right. All right. Moving on. Back to my man Bishop. Look at my man. He got a new hairstyle. What happened to the short little twist he had? Now it's all grown out. Got his hair did. Got a new fit. I noticed the fit. He's got his traditional stripes with the blue, but he's got some black on. Does that mean he has joined Team Storm?
Yeah,
because he's doing a mission for her. Talk about that. Is Bishop part of Team Storm?
Yeah, for now is part of Team Storm for Thunder War.
Let me ask you a question.
A big writer will be handling him in the Age of Revelation.
Really?
As all my favorite characters have been handling him as always.
You said a big writer. You can't tell us which writer is going to be handling Bishop?
I think it's been announced. It's good. I think it's been announced. It's going to be in long shots.
Yeah,
it's going to be who?
Mm-hmm. And long shot, the long
Bishop.
shot put.
The long shot put? All right. Do you have a name for Team Storm yet?
Oh yeah, I know it. I'm not saying it.
Okay. As long as you have one. They got to have an official name.
Yeah.
The name should be Onyx, by the way, but I'll save that for later. All right. So, we see. Oh, jeez. Come on, Derek. Oh man, a producer. He just got kicked off, which means that all of the slides got kicked off, which means I have to now delay you guys as I load up the slides myself and try to distract you as I start to reload the slides myself.
No, yeah, I can talk about this. So yeah, talking about some of the progresses made. We'll be talking about representation of Black love. We've been seeing, and without it feeling like forced, we've been seeing the gradual introduction in Red on Grey Malkin. We see the first interaction between Ransom and Temper, and in X-Manons we see another interaction, and then in Vigil, they go on their first date, and in the Age of Revelation tease, we see that they are in like a full-blown relationship on the same team. So that's like one now, so I think writers are noticing some of these things, and they are building towards it, and it's nice with some of this stuff are also like recognized, and I think they are recognized. So yeah.
All right. So Bishop has been held up in Madripoor, the safe house,
Yeah.
and with a person. Who is this person?
This is Jaden. They were in the Oklahoma incident. They were the mutant child that is Omega level that released radiation that was killing
And
Storm.
killed Storm. For all intents and
So
purposes.
that's all. So that's how all the Storm teammates are in suits, except Bishop, because Bishop doesn't need it. Bishop just absorbs the radiation and
He absorbed
converts
it.
it to another energy. So,
So I noticed Storm and Maggot and Manifold have these. Are those radiation suits?
yes.
Okay. All right. So Jaden's back. We finally see what happened to Jaden.
With new hair
What
and
is the
everything.
purpose of this visit?
It's to relocate them into another safe house. But while they're there, suddenly Margot's head is gone and blood starts gushing out. Boom.
Maria, I just finished telling you that I didn't like Maggot until your run. You leveled my dude up to Omega level status.
You made
You
us
just
like
let him
him. It's
crack some
funny.
cool jokes, get his swagger on. You had him fighting last issue in like an MMA match, having fun. You brought back my boy Blue Marvel to be the referee, which I loved. You finally got me to the point where I'm like, Maggot's kind of cool. He finally did his Omega level flex. He fought a god in Orun, and they won.
Own base. They beat them in their own.
Yeah.
And then you take his freaking head off, dude. What is the matter with? Why are you so twisted?
I told everyone when they were saying, "Oh, the FBI agents are like small potatoes." I'm like, do you know the American government?
Be a very dangerous place.
These are the people that went, like in this story, these are the people that went to limbo to negotiate with demons, with literal demons, just to get into the Storm Sanctuary. What do you think they would not do?
Look, I'm looking at the expressions on Manifold's face. I'm looking at expressions on Storm's face, Jaden's face. Bishop, he's going into battle mode, got his gun out, already ready to fight. Who's attacking us? And I'm like, who the? Come on. Who? Then you take out my man Manifold. You take out my man Manifold. You let me take a moment.
Sorry.
We just established Manifold's a part of the team. We just established he still got feelings for Shuri. We just did an allusion to the fact that he and Shuri may hook up. And then you kill my man Manifold.
Sorry.
Oh, no. 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 No, 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 no.
You're stressing me out, man. I'm a middle-aged black man. I don't need the stress in my life. Why are you leaving me vexed like this, man? Please tell me this is not permanent.
I don't want to give spoilers.
Pausing when I say, please tell me this isn't permanent, Maria.
All I can say is Margot has the Aegon spirit inside him, and
Manifold don't.
And the hospital, the night and day hospital, now accepts X-Men characters because Storm gave them the ruby. That's all I can say.
And they
So we're gonna see the night and day hospital again.
We're gonna see the night and day hospital again.
We shall
Okay.
see.
because she gave up that ruby that she needs to get back as a gift from T'Challa. I said that when you did that episode. But we'll say that for another day. All right, so there's some hope. There's hope for Manifold because this was jarring. This was jarring. But I move on. So who did this? I love, Bishop's asking, who's attacking us? And I'm asking the same damn thing. Who the hell did this? The feds.
And then, yeah, and why I did this is I wanted it to be something very mundane, voodoo dolls. Like
when you
well
introduce
as yeah, well as you do even see voodoo dolls in like a movie last, like
right,
it's something that's it's long, it's so mundane, it's so been there, done that. And that's the thing. On most teams, they have the mystic as their protector
yeah,
against nonsense like this. The Avengers have either Doctor Strange or Scarlet Witch or someone. The X Men have magic. There's someone that at least, I think the Okani X-Men has the kid, Death Dream. There's always someone that can sense this sort of stuff.
like Dr.
But
Voodoo.
but Storm didn't recruit Dr. Voodoo. But
Yet
Storm,
you're supposed to say yet, Maria. Give me some hope. Come on.
but because Storm keeps in continuity and everything, she keeps neglecting her magical lineage, her
True.
magical studies.
Yeah.
She's completely, as much as though she's a strategist, she's this. T'Challa has all these contingencies for magic too. They have magical contingencies. But Storm, because of this non-proclivity for magic, has zero. She did not even consider it whatsoever. And nothing, no defense at all. So ordinary voodoo dolls got a team. And that was to create that need so that our exploring a magical side would not just be, oh, Storm is exploring a magical side just because, and that's why in issue 3, if you remember, Dr. Voodoo was like, I don't think you ever explore your magical heritage. Like, you've not done it all these years. Why would you suddenly start doing it now? Because the writer said it, quote unquote, So, and you are like, why is Dr. Voodoo talking like this? Why is the writer? And I think some fans were angry that I was closing the door on Storm's magic question. I was like, no, you have to create the need. You have to
Yeah.
establish the fact that yes,
Right.
and then now you've now created that necessity here.
Right.
Storm, you need to take magic serious because look at what in ordinary voodoo dolls did to your team. You just beat gods. And ordinary voodoo dolls decimated your team.
Right.
So what you're saying is Night and Day Hospital is going to show up next issue. Dr. Voodoo's going to be working there because we know he's affiliated with the hospital because they got a referral to him. She got a referral to him. And he's going to point out to Storm, look, you could have prevented this if you'd only tap into your mystical side. In fact, you could save Manifold right now with your energy manipulation powers. With your mystical powers. If you just tapped into it, let's try it.
We have to wait and see.
We have to wait. Yes, I knew you were going to say that. All right. I would love to see if Etienne, because I guess they're both from Haiti, right? Etienne's Haitian, correct?
Yeah, Etienne is Asian, just like Dr. Voodoo. Fabi is from Nigeria, but they are both nationalized to the US.
US agents. It would be cool to see if Etienne go up against Dr. Voodoo, or if they even know each other. That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think Dr. Voodoo will be more powerful than Etienne, but Etienne just like Storm would probably be more sneaky with it.
Yeah. All right. So then, after all of this, like as I warned before, every single panel in this book had something happen. We have this character. Who is this character?
This is Infinity. I think when we started, you know, sometimes people think we forget things, but sometimes we don't want to rush you because there's a lot of things happening in this series. And if we give it to you all at once, it will be too overwhelming. So in issue 5, where we see the Living Tribunal, Eternity, and Oblivion, they talk about infinity, they talk about death, which is Oblivion's twin sister is death, Eternity's twin sister is infinity. If they were in that issue too, it will feel too much. So we gradually introduce it. So this is infinity looking for eternity. And it's so the question now is what happened to eternity? Because now the solicitation has been correct up to the Thunder War. After Thunder War, all the solicitations are now incorrect. It's on purpose so that you won't be able to predict the plot anymore. You've been able to predict the plot with all the solicitations. In the solicitation for this issue, we said eternity will show up. Nope, it's infinity that shows up. And it's infinity is looking for eternity. And the question is, where has eternity gone to? Has
Her
Storm
brother.
killed eternity? Yeah, a brother. Has Storm killed eternity already? Or is eternity off somewhere else or something? So it's yeah. So and
Let's
the question.
let's recap. Went to Orun, took out Shango, dropped him in the pocket dimension. By the way, took out Shock. Had Maggot level up to his Omega power by eating a kaiju. Then proceeded to show the Easter egg from Jaden from the very first issue. Then proceeded to kill Maggot. Then proceeded to seemingly mortally wound Manifold. And then have Infinity show up and say, "Where's my bro?" All in one issue.
Mm-hmm.
This truly was a war.
Yeah, and it's just the beginning.
And
Right,
this
the
is only
beginning.
issue 1 of Thunder War. This is
Yeah.
insane. If you guys haven't pre-ordered your other issues, you're insane. This is Marvel Comics at its best. This is Marvel Comics at its best. This is writing.
Thank
This
you.
is
Thank you.
a dude who cares about his fans
Yeah.
and about the character. I'm all here for it. What's going on with my man Bishop? What is that power field surrounding him?
That's why Infinity's eye is also glowing. She's the one suspending them. Are there? I think Lex Luthor is a ginger, so he's a bad guy in DC. Are there any
Right.
bad guy gingers in Marvel
Gingers?
besides X-Men? Yeah, that are bad guys.
What's his face? The X-Men villain. I'm looking at his face. The Madcap guy. The Game Master guy.
Arcade.
Arcade.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
Arcade.
Arcade.
Okay, Arcade is ginger. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So
I think
she's in
Fabian
good company.
Cortez technically is too. Is he?
Yeah. Fabian Cortez.
Yeah. But she's probably the first female. I can't think of another woman uh that's like ginger at least. Like
I think the
can't
female
think.
gingers are good. They are like
Yeah.
Pepper Potts and the new Venom, Mary
Yeah.
Jane.
Yeah.
Can't.
Jean Grey.
Mystic. Oh yeah, Mystic. Mystic is ginger.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. So, wow. You packed a lot into this, man. What do we got for next issue? Hadad is here to end our universe. Eternity, sensing the coming cataclysm, abandons the universe to seek the help of the one above all, the only entity benevolent and powerful enough to defeat Hadad, the first storm god. With eternity gone and the powers of the eternal storm stripped away, we got to talk about that. Storm is no longer the most powerful being in the universe, and yet all we hold dear rest on her shoulders. Let's start with the fact that Storm's having her eternal power stripped away. How's that happening? What's going on with that?
Yeah, if you've noticed, she hasn't turned into Eternal Storm. So if Eternity is not available, she can't turn into Eternal Storm. So it's funny how people are still like, oh, this issue is still about power scaling. It's like, dude, she doesn't even have the Eternal Storm form. She didn't turn to Eternal Storm at all in this issue. And
What happened?
according
What?
to
How
this,
did she lose the power? Is Eternity mad at her? What's going on?
yeah, we're good to see. That's the
We're gonna see.
story.
That's the story. All
Yeah,
right.
that's the story. So that's why Infinity, that's what Infinity is there. Like, where is Eternity? Like, Eternity is supposed to be with you. Where is he?
And apparently he's going above her head and saying, "I'm not going to use my host anymore. I'm going to try and go to the one above all and just, you know, leapfrog that
Yeah,
to fight his
going
battle
back
for
to
him."
his dad.
Eternity seems to have a history of always trying to have other people fight his battles. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so it's character consistent.
Yeah.
If my host can't do it, maybe my dad can.
Here's the covers for issue 11.
Beautiful covers.
That issue on the, I mean, all of Mateos Manaheni's art is fantastic, and those cover A's are all fantastic. But this, wow, this cover B. Who did we say the artist was on this?
Just the
June's something?
lightning.
It's hold on, I'm trying to pronounce. I don't
X
want to
Lightning.
mispronounce
An
it.
X Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Jung Yoon,
Jung Yoon.
Yoon. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
The
It's just
hair,
popping off the page.
the herbs, the lightning, everything.
Steve's asking, is Alex staying on colors at least through issue 11 and 12?
Alex is coloring a little bit of 11, but it's going to be First Suo. First Suo colored part of issue number 1. First Suo colored part of issue number 4. First Suo colored part of issue number 7. So the editorial and the Storm book has been perfect when it comes to the art. The person that takes over has always been pre-introduced and you just didn't notice, so yeah, the colorist that will color after Alex, as you've been seeing Fur's work and you didn't know the difference between Fur's work and Alex. And before Mario is taking over as Lucas is moving to Uncanny X-Men, which is Unbreakable X-Men. Mario has drawn pages in Storm 8. Yeah. And a lot of people didn't notice that much difference, So Mario is going to be taking over.
Okay. All right. Here's some preview art for issue number 11.
Okay, so
this looks like, go ahead.
Yeah, this panel, for example, is by Alex Guimarães and Mario Santoro. Alex is the colors, Mario Santoro is the artist. I think the next one is by Fur when we get there. So people,
can you give us a rundown of who these characters we're seeing on this page are?
Okay, so this is Zeus. Yeah. Zeus died in this thing, is back, is resurrected. The god at the, okay, so let's start from the very top.
Okay.
The very top, the serpent god is Sugar. That's my favorite storm god right now. Is a serpent storm god. And then so below, starting from the left, is Amadioha. And then after is Legon. And then is Beta Ray Bill. Then below Beta Ray Bill, just below, is Indra, the Indian god. And next to him is Uko, the Finnish god. And next to him is Tlaloc, another South American god, just like Chak.
I didn't realize Beta Ray Bill was God.
is replaced in Immortal Thor. He has replaced Thor in the narrative.
I see.
So anywhere Thor should be, it's him. So this panel now is Mario Santoro, but the colors is Fer Cifuentes Suo. And if you notice, you probably didn't notice that it's not Alex.
She's vomiting lightning.
Blue blazes, the narration would say.
Wow.
And there's a little crown there. So yeah, these are exclusive previews for this
Shout out to
stream.
AIPT for the exclusive pictures.
So this one is not exclusive to us. This one is Mario Santoro and Fer Cifuentes Suo. This is Mamarangan and Susano.
You don't get whack artist on your book, do you?
Like we're blessed.
Very blessed.
So another one, this is also Mario Santoro and Fer Cifuentes Suo. And yeah, Storm in Vibranium Armor and Infinity.
Back with the lightning spear. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Storm is not in her eternal storm mode, and she's taking on Infinity.
Yeah.
This would seem unwise.
We shall see.
We shall see. All right. Shout out to Kanan White. Kanan came on the show at the last show and said, "Oh yeah, that looks great. That looks great." I was like, "You know what would look great? If Kanan White would go ahead and draw some Storm." He goes, "I bet."
Yeah.
Next day,
comes
posted on
Eternal
the internet.
Storm.
The most dynamic Eternal Storm artwork ever. Like so much energy here.
He did it in 24 hours, then posted it. Challenge accepted. I see you, Kanan. I see you. I see
And we
you.
thank you.
Shout out to Kanan White, kicking off our fan art
Thank you,
section.
Kanan. Yeah.
Not to be undone. I have talked about this brother constantly. Dotunakande is a masterful, masterful, masterful artist. Check out the ends of Storm's hair. We talked about her power set. We talked about her power set as an energy manipulator. We talked about her power set from a mystical side. We talked about the fact that her other powers is her ability to be a master strategist. Another power set that she has is her skill with blades. Don't get into a knife fight with Storm. You will lose. And we learned in X-Men Red, or was it Sword?
We play back and forth. Nice.
That she has blades throughout her entire body at all times. She always has blades on her. And I thought this was a great homage to that look. The fact that she's got these blades. I need, Maria, I need you to somehow work this into a story where she's got blades at the tips of her hair, because we haven't seen her wield a blade that's not made out of energy other than her staff for a while.
I've been trying to go big with this, so it's been swords mostly.
Have her whip her hair, have the blades like infused with lightning, and just, I don't know, do something creative. You're the writer. Do something. That's dope. That's dope. And one other thing. Doesn't her face look like the actress, not Regina King, Regina Hall?
I didn't. Oh, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Doesn't she like Regina Hall?
Hall. I could see that.
From the side profile? Is it just me, fans? Chat? Y'all see Regina Hall? It might be just me. All right. All right. So let's check out this other word. Joel Gomez. This black and white rendition. Punk rock
Beautiful
storm.
stuff.
Works. Enerjax. This should have been in the Marvel swimsuit issue.
Yeah, that would have been gorgeous.
That'd have been dope.
Yeah.
Alex Bennett,
Classics Storm.
classic Storm,
The beginning.
classic, and dark skin Storm. Got it looking good. Tholia, sketch of my favorite X-Men Storm. So much talent out there.
It is. A lot of talent.
Alan Dove, to me, my Eternal Storm. Eternal Storm is like mad popular. By the way, it's
Very.
like mad popular. Nick N. Thomas, artist. Beautiful version. The flowers in the hair. Another punk rock version of Storm from Olio Mayart. I can't pronounce that. I apologize if I butchered your name.
I think it's Oluyemi at.
Oluya Mayart.
Yeah.
Logan Cure Art with Thick Storm.
Yeah,
Extra thick.
That's from
It's
the
Marvel
upcoming
Comics.
video game. Yeah.
Wow.
It'll be out next year.
For real?
2026. Yeah.
Is this
She's
like
in a lot of games coming up. She's in Marvel Rivals. She's in Marvel Mystic Mayhem. She's in Marvel Cosmic Invasion. That's coming up later this year, and then she's in this one, Marvel Token. That's from next
Marvel
year.
Token? Huh.
Mhm.
All right. Oh, wait, hold on. Family Channel. Thick Storm is back. Thick Storm is very popular. I'm seeing a lot of Thick Storm. A lot of brothers doing a lot of Thick Storm right now.
No, I think Marvel Token is Thick Storm, so all the fan arts
Yeah.
are thick.
That's for the
telling
coming.
you.
Yeah.
Ariala Summer Storm. That also could have been in Marvel swimsuit issue. Trey, quick storm drawing based on her look in Marvel Token. How am I just now learning about this Marvel Token?
Oh yeah, look it up. It's probably gonna be cool. It's like a four versus four fighting game.
I'll have to check that out. More Thick Storm.
More Marvel Token.
Kino Morrow. And Red and Black Tack. Marvel's Token Storm. So everyone's in the Marvel Token.
Yeah, it's
All
very
right.
popular right now.
Finished by Tholia. Finished Orun Morel tribute.
Yep.
More Marvel Token. Wow, look at this one on the right. Matt Z. High Priestess of the Sky, Commander of the Storm. Love it. Sitting on a...
Concept is just so sick.
Is that the little cat with the X on it that her daughter had? Is it the same cat? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Chimera?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Chimera had a big cat. Big cat.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was big. Yeah, that one was big. It's like
But it had the same
It was
type
a
of patterns
panther.
on it. Yeah, it was a panther. But it had the same type of patterns on it.
So maybe
That's
it is when it was small.
Possible, yeah.
This one was small. Ale Almeida. It's kind of a manga
Another classic
influenced. Whoa.
It's the intergalactic storm sanctuary.
Derek, can you make this big? Make it full size.
I think it's an image Antoine saw online, and it's like it would really make sense if it's like Storm Sanctuary on an intergalactic scale.
Yeah.
Wow. Someone call up Jonathan Hickman and tell him to add this to Imperial.
I know, right?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh wow. Thanks for the zoom in, Derek. That's dope.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Imagine if Krakoa had never ended, Arakko had never ended, and Storm was to build her sanctuary out in space.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what it would look like.
The storm sanctuary can be the second Krakoa, I think, if they
For real.
played it the right way.
Well, especially considering Maria keeps making it bigger and bigger every time I see it.
It's
I
like
really
its
do
own.
think it's a
It's a
Doctor Who
pocket
pocket dimension.
dimension.
It's a pocket dimension.
It's a
I
pocket
mean,
dimension at this point.
Yeah,
no,
it's like
seriously.
Lila Cheney had one. She used to live in a pocket dimension house. That
And
she.
we know that from the X-Men comics that the world was a pocket dimension, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
They could
Yeah,
say that they took the same technology. Aurora took the same technology and incorporated it into her sanctuary. So it's a mini pocket dimension inside the Storm Sanctuary. That would be badass.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd this come from, Antoine?
I just saw it on Twitter. It didn't even
You just,
have the artist on it. I think
oh, we don't
somebody
even know
just
who the
shared it.
artist was?
No, somebody just shared it, and I just stopped me in my tracks. I was completely floored.
That's crazy. All right. All right, Derek, go to our next one. Rogue Storm
Storm.
from the Age of Revelation, new issue coming out.
Yes.
This, for all intents and purposes, correct me if I'm wrong, Maria, this is Storm 13, but we'll have a new number. Can you
Yes.
talk about the Age of
Yes.
Revelation, what this is, and what your role is going to be in it?
So, as the X-Men office, would all be moving 10 years into the future. And in this 10 years to the future, it's post-apocalyptic for various reasons. One of the major reasons is because of revelation, but there are also other reasons why it's post-apocalyptic. And in our story, it's going to be set in Africa, um, between Egypt and Nigeria. And the reason why the outside world, not just in Africa, is also experiencing this post-apocalypse is this apocalyptic thing is because of Storm. Something happened to Storm, and she's sending the whole world into an ice age. You know, the weather anomaly that we saw in Storm 7, imagine that happening on a global scale, and it's Storm's fault. To be able to save the planet, to be able to stop the planet from dying, Rogue has to assemble a team of mutants to go and kill Storm.
Good luck with
And
that.
for that, and for that, she assembles, the best of the best. For their teleporter, she gets Gateway. For their Master Marksman, she gets Phantom X. you
Okay.
know um for their barbarian, like the Wolverine type, she gets Warpath.
Okay.
um then for the wild card, she gets um
Spiral.
Spiral, but she's going to be replaced at some point by an original character called Akujin. And for the Omega powerhouse, she gets Iceman, since he's also kind of related to weather, that
Yeah.
maybe can be able to help out. And so with that team, she's going forward to try to kill Storm. So yeah, it's going to be very cool. It's going to be very nice.
So Storm is the villain in this.
Yes.
Wow. Or at least to the antagonist.
Yeah.
I
So
don't.
it's so, and the artist is going to change for this. It's going to be, not to compare artists or anything, it's going to have more of a, we're leaving more of the, Steve McNiven, Pepe Larraz, art style, Lucas Wernick, style, and we're moving more into like the Mike Mignola style. So the art style is going to change to more of Mike Mignola, because it's going to be very dark, very brutal kind of story. You're going to see people being ripped apart and that kind of violence and crazy stuff.
Butterfly
So,
Cliff asks, what is the difference between Rogue Storm and Eternal Storm?
um, it depends on the context. If it's about the one that happened in Uncanny X-Men, like I've said, I think Rogue Storm is the predecessor to Eternal Storm. But the Rogue Storm in this story is again, is deep, and there are some I can say, there are some I can't say, because some that I can say are spoilers. But the ones I can't say, is Rogue Storm, a storm that has gone rogue, that's evil now. Rogue Storm, she's going to be using a magic system called Shadow Path, where she can use the powers of other gods. That's Rogue's power, but with magic. That's also another Rogue Storm. Rogue Storm again is also what happened in this Rogue Storm story arc, where Storm for a brief moment was affecting the weather of the entire planet. But in this story, that will happen and it will take place for all 5 years. She has taken control of the planet's weather for 5 years. So what happened in that earlier Rogue Storm for just few minutes is going to be something that happens for a very long time here. So the Rogue Storm has much deeper meaning here. So these are this is the artist is Roland Bosky. This is the character designs for Storm. Is
I dig it.
inspired by is inspired by clothes by like the Imba tribe, the Zulu tribe, like the Eastern South African kind of tribes, warrior tribes, and stuff like that. So it's there with a little flair of, primal and, action packed kind of thing. So it also has some little flavor of, this is like Conan the Barbarian kind of thing. She still has a curly hair, she still has, her muscles, and now she's going to be wielding a giant axe, So yeah.
What is she writing?
It's a spoiler.
That's a spoiler. Okay. All right.
But it's not the same creature that we saw Iceman in from that preview. That's different.
No, that's different.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go to some of these
God,
questions.
I hope it's Razorbill. I've missed him.
I think it's a serpent.
We'll
Question: any chance Dotun will be joining as a future interior artist of Storm?
Dotun is like super busy right now, but we never know.
All right. Eclectic Birdie Nietzsche asks, how did Zeus escape Peter Quill's element gun? Does Zeus escape mean that the element gun is weaker? Do the other Olympians escape the element gun as well?
Zeus already did that in Immortal Thor, and Thor killed him again. So it's from that we're resurrecting him, not from the gun.
Shout out to Azazel Valentine. Thank you for the super chat. Says we need a Storm solo game ASAP. Couldn't agree with you.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, let's keep supporting the series. We can get there.
Yeah, we need to keep giving them materials to use.
Yeah.
Common Sense, thank you for your super chat. Says Hickman should have add Night Mask in Imperial. Where the hell is Night Mask? You haven't seen him in forever. And then Cersei's Wine Glass, thank you for your super chat. We haven't seen Wolverine since he and Storm got back together. Well, got back together is a strong term. That's a hookup. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
There in Madripoor, will Logan finally come back to be with Storm?
Right now, I have to wait to see. Wolverine is a lot of books right now, so managing his continuity is like pretty hard. So, no plans for now yet.
Or ever, preferably. Anyway, I digress. Stephen Turner. Sorry, man. I got always good plug it. Stephen Turner, will we go back to regular timeline after? That's a very good question. After the Age of Revelation, will there be a revert to the regular 616 continuity? And a part two, I'll add to his question: will there be lasting ramifications from the Age Revelation in the subsequent issues?
Yeah, Marvel sent an email where they copied all the writers, but I knew it wasn't for any of the writers. I knew it was because of me, because they now have a big mouth. They specifically said, you know, we do that
They
thing
said,
here too.
Maria, when you go on Black Comic Lords,
We do that thing
giving
too.
away the
You don't want it to
storyline.
seem like you don't want it to seem like you're talking to someone specifically. So you say things like, all of you, none of you should do this. But it's like, yeah, we all know it's this person. So yeah, I'm not supposed to reveal the answer to that question.
Mm. It's not like Marvel ever watches us.
You'll be surprised.
All right.
Always watch.
What was the other question I saw here? Impasta. All the current X-Men book are getting canceled for the event, and Rogue Storm is solicited for just 3 issues. So the question is, will the book get rebooted, or are you leaving the book to a new writer?
Now we had talked about that. I specifically answered this question, but go ahead. I know who this is.
Technically, some books are getting cancelled, so you might not see them come back. But a lot of the books, the majority of the books, are not getting cancelled. They're getting morphed into another title that you will see, like Storm becoming Rogue Storm. And they are not solicited for 3 issues. We've not seen those solicitations yet. But if we come back or not come back or anything, I can't say anything, and I can't say anything about if there's a reboot or anything coming. But when it comes to so far, I'm still the writer. I'm still the writer on the book. My plan and hope is I want to at least have an omnibus.
Yes.
And I think that's 25 issues. And I've written 15 issues so far. So I'm hoping the book keeps doing well so that I can get greenlit for 10 issues so that I can have at least 25.
That's what's up. How do we get there, Antoine?
We keep pre-ordering the book. And tell
And
other
telling
people who you
people,
think might be interested to pre-order the book too. Like I said before, we got to show up. We got to put our money where our mouth is. If we want Black characters, we have to show them that the interest is there and that we're going to buy the book. Otherwise, it's hot air. And I know that we want to see more Black heroes. I know that we want to see that. So we've got to make sure that we show up for Marvel's premier Black female character. There is no other female character in any of comics that's bigger than Storm. So if
Mm-hmm.
we have to make it known that this character can go the distance, that she can carry a solo hero. Because if it does not, that is sending a terrible optic to the company. Because if Storm can't do it, I can tell you they're not going to really give anybody else a shot to this extent.
Storm is the #1 Black superheroine in all of comics.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that. Storm is the #1 Black superheroine in all of comics.
Undebatable.
Ever. It's not even up for debate. Objectively speaking.
It's
#1.
miraculous, actually. Yeah.
If we cannot make this series continue, what does that say about us?
Not a good look.
It's not a good look. If we can make Black Panther, the movie, get a $1.3 billion, we can support a comic book.
Absolutely.
To continue to 25 issues. So we can get an
Absolutely.
omnibus.
Absolutely.
She's never had an omnibus. No Black superheroine has ever had an omnibus in comics.
This is our first shot, and we're almost there.
Never.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It is.
That's sad. She's been around since 1974, right?
75, yeah, something like that.
Since 5.
75. Yeah, this is the 50th anniversary. 75, and this is the longest run she's ever had. It's about
Second
to be.
longest on it's about to be.
I'm speaking into existence, Maria.
Yeah, technically it's based on solicitations. It is now because we have 12 issues, and with Rogue Storm, that's now
15
Going
13.
forward.
Yeah.
13. Well, 13 and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Maria, on that. By the way,
Thank you very
congratulations.
much.
All right.
So the
Jaffa commented that the kaiju tasted bad. Do Ini and Mini have a sense of taste? Do they transfer that sensation to him after they re-enter? Oh, that's a good question.
they don't have to re-enter his body to transfer the Japheth and his and the slugs in and Mini are telepathically linked, so they can transfer the tastes while they are linked.
Yeah.
I think there are some stories where they've even eaten something and then transfer the memories of what they ate to Margot.
Mm.
So yeah.
Maxine Shaw asks, is T'Challa still tentatively slated to appear post Rogue Storm? Oh, okay. Because you had mentioned T'Challa was going to appear in, like, I forget the issue number, but at some point in the future.
Technically I already gave the answer to the things they've warned me not to say in the previous episode. But T'Challa should still be slated.
For future reference, because I don't want you to get in trouble with the Marvel people again, because they never watch us, but occasionally they have a spy. Just reference a previous episode of Stormwatch for the answer.
Yeah. So I want to go through some of my processes for how I structure the Storm ongoing series. So I have like a little presentation for people. It's not like the way to like do an ongoing series, but I think it might not even be a way, but this is how I've done this. So maybe there's a lesson here or there for people that maybe want to go into comics or just want to know, or just want to like for the fun of it and see how the how the food is made in the kitchen and see how we throw up all the ingredients.
All right, let's bring that up.
See. Okay, yeah, cool. So
Maria, you're gonna teach us how you cook, basically.
Yes. So if you guys also have any questions, you can ask as we go on with it. So we can start.
All right.
So the way it basically works is that right now we have 12 issues of the main Storm series before it moves on to Rogue Storm. So issue 1 to 6 is how I see like the first arc, and then issue 7 to 12 is the second arc. So what I did basically with the story is that issue 7 to 12 is a dark reflection of 1 to 6. So if you pay close enough attention, you will see some similar bits that you see between 1 and 6 happen again here, but they take a more twisted turn when they reoccur. So we'll start showing you examples of those things that's changed as we move to the next volume. Next slide.
As a complete aside, shout out to Mateus Manahini for these great covers.
Look at how these covers just look good arranged like this. Gorgeous stuff.
You
really
I can imagine them on the back of an omnibus cover now. Look at it. I can just see it in my mind.
You really take for granted how great all of his covers have been on this series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me, we need to bring him on the show.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Part 1: the major cosmic players are teased. What do you mean by this?
So yeah, in the first issue, by the end of that's issue 1, by the end of the issue, Eternity comes to talk about, oh, I'll make you my eternal storm. So, and in that story, everything is mundane until eternity shows up and it's like, oh, is this going to be a cosmic story? And in issue 7, oh, it's all about, oh, they are hunting for this snake and all those stuff. Everything is pretty mundane. But in the beginning of the story, we have the introduction to the Black Winter that's going to tease, the war to come. So in both stories, at the end in issue 1, but at the beginning in issue 7, is to introduce the cosmic into the mix. That's, yeah, there's this mundane stuff happening, but the cosmic is introduced. So that's what we do first. We introduce the cosmic in the first issues of each volume. So yeah. And then part 2 is after a moral debate, we meet our voodoo priests. So in issue 2 of Storm has this debate with Dr. Day, about what it means to be an X-Men, how sometimes, in trying to focus too much on the mutant dom, some mutants slip away, like in trying to focus on Krakoa, some mutants still felt out of place, and after that debate, she meets Dr. Voodoo, it's because she's able to win over Dr. Day that she's able to get introduced to Dr. Voodoo. But in the discussion with the police officer, the FBI agent in Storm 8, she doesn't necessarily win that argument in issue 8. She loses that argument, and then we're introduced to the voodoo priests. And the voodoo priests of the FBI agent is Agent Etienne, who is in the back. This is how she meets the voodoo priests for the second volume. So that's part 2. So we've gotten this dichotomy: voodoo, the helpful one, and then Etienne, the evil priest.
Part
Then
3.
in part 3, yeah, we see the intention to kill is revealed. In issue number 3, it's revealed that Storm is the eldest being in the universe, yet this swarm of death sprites are surrounding her, meaning that the universe intends to kill her. We're reminded that again that, if the parasite is left unchecked, the host always dies. We are reminded of that again in issue number 9. But this time it switches. Instead of, oh, Eternity is trying to kill Storm, this time is that Storm says, I'm going to kill Eternity. Whatever entity that's taking control of my body, I'm going to kill it too. So you see the difference. So before it's Eternity is trying to kill Storm, now it's Storm trying to kill Eternity. So you see that dichotomy. So we move to part 4. And then part 4 is after the blood sacrifice by a voodoo priest, we see God. Because of the actions of Dr. Voodoo, Egun is linked with Storm. Storm breaks the pact, Egun kills Storm. But because of that death, Storm is able to meet Eternity. We see that fusion with Eternity for her to become Eternalstorm. So she doesn't meet Eternity. She doesn't see Eternity until she dies by Egun, which is a result of Dr. Voodoo. Infinity 2 doesn't come into the story in issue 10 until Manifold and Margot die by Etienne's hands through a voodoo. So a voodoo sacrifice in both instances had to be made in part 4 before we could see Eternity and before we could see Infinity. Almost like the way you hear that, in some of all these old sagas, that, oh, a sacrifice had to be made before you could see some gods, or the way Odin had to sacrifice himself to himself before he could gain knowledge. So before you could see these abstract entities, someone had to die. So, and then part 5, the council where all things are revealed. So as we're moving through the story, most of it has been mysteries. We don't know. We don't know why is eternity involved in with Storm? So that was when people are like, oh my god, they're just thinking eternity because of power scaling, not knowing that there's a cosmic balance at play. There's something happening between Oblivion and Eternity. All that was revealed in part 5 through a council meeting between Eternity, Oblivion, and the Living Tribunal. So in our own part 5, which is Storm 11, is going to be a council meeting between the Storm gods, where we're going to start getting all those mysteries. They're like, why is that coming for Storm? Why did all the Storm gods attack Storm? All those things will be revealed in the part 5 in the council meeting. And this now where we now get the revelation of what this story is really about, is the fact that the entities see existence one way, the storm gods see it another way, and we're going to see their different views now clash. That's what the story is about. And once that is now settled, for part 6, it's just going to be all out action. So if you're waiting for where the action is going to be, it's going to be where the action is going to be in the part 6. That's the way Storm 6 was, this all-out action. That's what Storm 12 is going to be. So that's where the action is going to be. So that's the structure we're kind of following. And you see that we've been following just like 1, 2, and so, but despite it being so familiar, despite it still following the same structure, thematically, the second volume still feels very overwhelming. And one of the reasons why it feels overwhelming is this. So every volume of our story we use the Dan Amon story circle. That's the Dan Amon is the creator of Rick and Morty and Community. So that's the story circle he uses that's the story structure he uses in his episodes. I use it for the entire volume so that it can be cohesive as one single story. So we're going to see how the volume 1 breaks down in this story circle. So next slide. So for volume 1, that's issue number 1. In the beginning, we see, Storm is now a solo hero. We see the Sanctuary's inauguration. That's the beginning. That's the setup. That's where the story starts. The inciting incident, the need is that Storm needs to save the mutant child. Storm needs to save Oklahoma. Frenzy is there. So it moves to Storm reveals the truth about what happened in Oklahoma, and that's the departure, that's the insight. If that didn't happen, the story won't happen. And because of that, she now starts facing a lot of challenges, the trials and tests. You have the people on the ship, they hate her, there's public scrutiny, and then the most important one, there's health concerns. She's losing her hair. So she goes to look for help, and then she finds it with Dr. Voodoo, and then she spends some time with her family. But when you find the solution in these stories, you always have to pay a heavy price for it. For the solution to the radiation poisoning, she had to die, and that's when she dies by Egun's hand. And then the return, she resurrects, and she can only resurrect because she met her father. She wanted to give up, but her father gave her the words she needed to come back. And when she came back changed. She was no longer the Storm that we knew before in the beginning of the story. This is a Storm that now had bigger responsibilities on her shoulders, cosmic responsibilities. This is a Storm that is now possessed by eternity. This is a Storm that has been defiled by eternity. That is the structure. Very simple, very easy to follow, beautiful stuff.
I saw Gail, I think it was Gail Simone, made a comment online about being at a Marvel writers meeting, and her being blown away by how organized you are in your approach to writing and the structure the detail that you put into your outlines and in coming up with your stories, not just the individual stories, but the plot of your overall run. And she's like, there's not a single writer she's seen write the way that you write with that level of detail. And it shows. I think this issue is a perfect example. And this is why I meticulously went through like panel through panel. Like you put detail in every single panel. And that's why we spend a couple hours going over each of these issues because of the level of detail this guy puts, the thoughtfulness. That's why we have this show.
Right.
So because I need y'all to see that there's stuff on the page that's not just randomly thrown there.
Right.
There's a reason for every single thing that you see.
Right.
Right down to the detail of artwork, because you see the notes that he gives these artists. I need the person to look like this. I need this detail to be here. I need this to look like this. He throws it in for a reason. Not a lot of writers are doing that. So you got to give this man his props. You got to give him his flowers, and I'm certainly going to acknowledge his brilliance here.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you pulling back the curtain and showing us your process.
Yeah, so this is now where things get complicated. And I think that's where people feel it. This is the structure for the second volume. It's the same thing. It's still the story circle. It's the 8 acts. It's still the 8 acts, but it's different this time. You now have 2 story circles merging into one. There are 2 plot points that are happening. One is the F.B.I. and one is the storm gods. So if you look at the first bit, that's the beginning. It's the same for both. Is Storm now is retreating back after issue number 1, after the volume 1. Storm is now retreating back. She has tried being a solo hero. It didn't particularly work out for her. She's retreating back subconsciously into her old ways. You vowed to be a solo hero, but bit by bit, you're starting to assemble an X-Men team. You just recruited maggots to join your battle against the X-Men in an X-Man Hunt event. You are retreating back to the X-Men. You are ready to, so that's where we start off the story. So for A, that's the plot A is Storm tries to help the father figure. That's Charles Xavier. That's the F.B.I. plot. And when you go to the departure, because Storm helps Charles, the F.B.I. detains her. So that the F.B.I. wouldn't have been able to get to Storm at all if she didn't help Charles. And then when you move to the trials, she fights back. She fights back by getting the Arakis and getting the power shifters in a sanctuary, and by recruiting the help of She-Hulk. She fights back legally. But the FBI agent fights back. Before they fight back, she gets success. She's free. They let her go. Yeah, you won. And then, but she pays a heavy price for winning. Because when you win against the government, they strike back. And that's when they kill Manifold and they kill Maggots. And because of that, she's going to learn a particular lesson that's very, very important that she's going to share with Gateway in Storm 11 and Storm 12. So we'll see the repercussions of that. I can't say that repercussion yet. It happens in Storm 11. So that's the FBI plot. Now the Storm Gods plot also starts the same way. Storm is retreating back into the X-Men. She's already recruiting Maggots. But the inciting incident is this. Iron Man shows up to say, hey, I needed to go on a mission in the Amazon rainforest. But yeah, so while she's there in the departure, in the Storm Gods attack her. That's Shango, Mamaranga, all the stuff, they attack her. she manages to escape. In the trials and tests, she recruits Manifold and Gateway. And you see Margot training with the power shifters, trying to get strong and everything. And then they go to hunt down Shango and they get a temporary victory, you know, and they suffer a profound loss. And we are going to see the repercussions in the return and the change in Storm 12. It's going to skip 11. 11 is going to be the ending for the FBI story. 12 will now be the ending for the God story. So that's when we now see what changes with Storm. But the thing is that they all feed into each other in this symbiotic way. Because of the lesson she learned from the FBI story, she will use it in the God story. So the reason why the second volume, even though it's slightly longer than it's six, it has longer issues than the first one, but it's because it's two story circles instead of one story circle intertwined into like the shape of an infinity, and it's all interlocked. So that's the structure for this issue. So it takes more juggling and everything, and it's very sophisticated. It's something I'm very, very proud of how we're able to like manage it. So that's the structure for the second volume. And so now people also say, because it seems like it's very, very plot heavy, that oh, it's all about plot, but it's also very, very character driven. So there are characters called impact characters in a story. They're not the protagonists, but what they do is that they are the ones that collide with the protagonists to set off major plot points. And some of those characters, you are going to see them in the next slide. So some of those characters is number one, Jaden. If the actions that Jaden does in Storm 1 does not happen, the entire series does not happen. And we're going to see Jaden show up again in Storm 10 and Storm 12. So these characters keep coming. No character comes and we just abandon them. They are all major characters. The Night and Day Hospital is not just there to show that, oh, Storm is rich and she can sacrifice her Ruby. It's going to come in handy with the injured Margot and Manifold in Storm 11. Dr. Doom. I see some people saying Dr. Doom. We've forgotten Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is in Storm 11, is in Storm 3, 4, 5. His influences were in 9. He helped the FBI agents. And he's going to come back in Rogue Storm 2, which hasn't even been solicited yet. Dr. Voodoo as well. If Dr. Voodoo is not in the story, we will not even have Omega Margot at all. Because if not for him introducing Storm to Egun, we will not have that. So he's in Storm 2, 3, 4. He's going to be in Storm 12, and he's going to be in Rogue Storm 2. Rogue,
So
that
I
seems
was
like what,
right. Dr. Voodoo is showing up in Rogue Storm.
yeah. So, and same thing with Rogue. It seems that Rogue was just someone that she confided in and then gave her a dress. She's going to show up in Storm 12 just a little, and then takes part in Rogue Storm 1, 2, and 3. But Gambit, same thing with Gambit. Gambit has this discussion and this small relationship with Storm in Storm 3. Going to come back. Charles Xavier is not a standalone impact character. He's fused with the FBI. He does his work and then hands it over to the FBI while he goes to the Imperial book. And they show up in Storm 6, Storm 8, Storm 9, Storm 10, Storm 11. So it's not, the characters are not just randomly showing up. They're all impacting the story one way or the other. What I describe this solo is that this solo is not like all those solos that is very hyper focused, like maybe a Daredevil series. It's similar to something like Game of Thrones, where yes, the major characters are the Starks, but you're still following all these other characters. It's like Invincible, where you're still following all these characters. So some people might try to argue that, oh, this protagonist is not a true protagonist, that if you take them out of the story works. It seems like that, but it's false. It's because of these impact characters. They seem strong, they seem like protagonists, but they are not. What they do is that they interact with the protagonist to set off other plot points. So it's as character driven as it is plot driven. So that's all the connections we have been trying to do with this series. So it's fun working with it. It's super sophisticated storytelling that we're trying to do here. So, and that's the end of my presentation. Sorry for taking your time, guys.
As I said, thank you for pulling back the curtain on that process.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
For those who thought Maria just wakes up in the morning and says, "Let me write some words on the page and send that over to Marvel and hopefully they approve it," understand it's a lot more involved.
Yes. Yes.
As Matawade say, artistic vision, not just vibes.
Facts.
All right, so let's take these questions so we can get going. Dr. Wizard, if you would. Did Etienne bribe, blackmail someone who attended Maggot's underground fight club to obtain some of their belongings to cast her voodoo? Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. So we'll have to wait and see on that department.
Will Etienne's transgression against Eden lead to repercussions from his big sister, Lotica, or universe for the feds?
We have to see what happens after. Okay, we have to see what happens during Age of Revelation when the Araco thing is settled by Aliwin and I think Ryan North.
Okay.
And then I'll see what I can do with Lactuca.
How big a role will my man Bishop play in this story?
It's like what we've been doing with a lot of supporting characters. They come and go. I think that's the role Bishop will play. He's going to be here for Storm 10 and 11. He will go and he'll probably come back later. There's also another project that will probably steal him away from us too. But we'll see.
Seeing how Eenie and Meanie reattached a severed arm, could they reattach a severed head as well?
That's a spoiler.
That would be a spoiler. Good question, Eclectic. Was Keith Hamilton Cobb, who portrayed Tyr Anastasi on Andromeda, influence Bishop's current look, since there are two badasses with dreads? It's a good question. Andromeda.
Seen that in a long
Slightly, but slightly just to give me the confidence to be like, oh yeah, I can give him dreads. But I went with another style of dreads. I prefer the thin dreads to the extremely bulky ones.
All right.
For Bishop, anyway.
So Storm does know about eternity. Why doesn't she think she's tripping balls?
She doesn't know it's eternity yet. She just knows an entity is taking over her body because she's familiar with things like Phoenix. So now that Infinity has shown up, now she can know it's eternity. Because when an entity comes to ask you about, oh, do you know the whereabouts of this entity? And another entity has been tormenting you for you. So it's like, oh, so you're the sister of that entity that has been tormenting me. Okay.
And Infinity's like, oh, you didn't know?
So that's why Infinity shows up.
Did Jaden and Bishop just sit around in silence until Aurora and the crew arrive? Bishop doesn't seem comfortable around kids like other X-Men.
I don't know. Maybe they're both cool in silence, but I think he's probably getting used to Jaden. A little thing that's I'm sure some people didn't notice. If you look at the cabin in the first page, the plants closest to the cabin, the trees closest to the cabin are dead trees. Then farther away, they're not live trees. It's because occasionally when she releases that radiation, she has killed the plants closest to the cabin.
Wow. Will Aurora's daughter get a chance to age normally, or will she follow Cable and be a kid for a few years, then gets kidnapped and return as a grown woman?
We're not even sure if we'll be able to fully use her yet or not.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Everson Salvatore, hello, I wanted to ask a question. Why did you show Storm in space needing a helmet to breathe if we already saw her breathing there with her own powers? Isn't that regressing her power? Well, he kind of already answered that question.
Yeah, I was wonder. Besides the Alien story, even in X-Men Hellfire Vigil, I was wonder wrote her in space without needing the element. But in this particular situation, Storm needs to breathe, but she takes the atmosphere with her. She's going to be there in this story for 4 days, so she nobody who likes using their powers consistently at a stretch for 4 days except Cable. Cable is
Right.
one that uses his powers consistently every time without even in his sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
And I'm
they need
sure
to
he
rest.
confirmed.
So that's why then yeah. So that's why she needed the suit.
Will Aurora's motherhood mirror Spider Woman in the sense that the fans won't know who the father is for a while or at all?
More like for a while, not at all. They, there's a father, but it's not like we just want to know for a while. The analogy I say is that um, the child spends a lot of time inside the mother before he finally meets the father.
Hmm.
It's true.
That's what happens when you're a child of the god Hadad. In what universe can you be brutally killed, be resurrected, get your ass beat by storm gods, and think you might be pregnant?
This is a good point.
In the universe where she's possessed by the universe and all her body and everything is all messed up right now.
Hmm. Is the evil spirit a part of Maggot's spell?
Yes, that's why he's still Omega level.
Will Aurora teach her daughter the shadow magic developed by Ashake?
Probably, since if she doesn't, Ashake might teach the daughter herself. She's always in time. She's always doing time shenanigans. That's Ashake. She's always doing time shenanigans. I think she taught Storm. She's taught magic,
Yes.
as in Magic the character. So yeah, she's always doing time shenanigans.
Is the kaiju based on Dave Johnson's Gross Freak from Ben 10?
Yes, inspired by yes.
Hmm. Aren't there space scavengers like the space sharks that appeared during Jason Aaron's X-Men run that would have devoured the kaiju corpse?
Yeah, but this side of the universe is very dangerous if you read that story.
Good answer. Cat was the British Ranger who was an actual cat or turned into one. Oh, they were talking about the cat that Storm had, maybe in that fan art. I don't know.
Yeah, the fan art probably.
I don't know.
Okay. How is Storm going to fight Hadad alone if she needed help to fight Zango? Honestly, this edition turned me off.
Yeah,
How is
that's
she going to fight
that's
Hadad?
that's the point. Like number one, the reason why she needed help fighting Shango is not that she can't beat Shango alone, but why would she do that? Like she's trying to beat all five gods. That's one. So she's trying to be efficient, she has to beat all five. They got interrupted two-way in because of Bishop. And two, she wants them to feel what she felt when she was in the jungle. They ganged up on her 5-on-1 or so. She wants them to feel what it's like when you don't face an opponent where you have to face 5 against 1. And yes, that's the story too. It's like, oh, if you are quote unquote struggling with these quote unquote smaller gods, how are you going to face that? Yeah, that's the challenge. That's the story. You're not supposed to know how. If you say, but if it's going to be, oh, the one above all wants to meet dark side, you're like, it's I wants to meet, I don't know, any, let's say, very small character. You're like, yeah, one above all is going to win. But if it's that Batman has to beat dark side, that's where the story is. How is it going to beat this immovable, unstoppable being?
Can Maggot consume cosmic beings like Galactus or Ego?
Ego maybe, Galactus might eat him faster than he can eat Galactus.
Yeah.
Can maggot eat living beings? His can Eeny and Meeny eat living beings?
I think
They
they
can,
can,
but
but
I think they don't.
allowed to.
They can, but they just don't.
Well, Omega Eeny and Meeny might.
Yeah, because remember, Storm
Mhm.
told them that they could eat the hippo feed, but they couldn't eat the hippos.
Yeah. True. What else we got, Dr. Wizard? Lucas says this is his last issue. How long is this run going to be? Who's taking over?
So far we are greenlit for 20 issues. So we're hoping to be able to get 25 issues at least. And so far Mario Santoro is taking over. Then after that, Roland Bosky. I don't know who's taking over after Roland Bosky yet.
Pre-order your books. Did Eternity go to the House of Ideas?
That's a spoiler for the next issue.
Yeah, you kind of foreshadowed the House of Ideas a few issues ago. Next question. Is Alex staying on colors at least through 11-12? I think you asked that one already.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Rogue Storm Phantom X appears to be female. Have 3 brains gotten their own bodies again?
Phantom X in this story is male. The female one is in the, I think, Sinister 6 book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who it looks like Misty Knight will be appearing in.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Hasbro needs to hurry up and give us a Storm Marvel Legends line around this series.
No, wouldn't that
I
be
know,
nice?
right? Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
Have you heard anything about that?
Me? No.
Yeah. They let you know about merch.
No. You just see it come out.
All right. Is Moon Girl and Devil
Hopefully.
Dinosaur going to make an appearance?
Hopefully.
Oh, good. Will we ever learn when and where Storm got that vibranium armor? That's a good question.
Hopefully.
You said Shuri gave it to her, but get the
We
details
said
on.
we said probably one of Tachaka's children. Hopefully, we should be able to. It's more of the thing is, it's not like I don't want to reveal it. It's more of like, look at what we just said about this current arc is basically 2 arcs shoved into one. So yeah, so it's the time and space kind of thing. And we're really getting like 5 issues at a time. So yeah, it's having those moments, but yeah,
Ooh, Kevin Pitts was a good question. Are there plans on making Bishop an Omega level mutant? Seeing as how we're just, leveling up brothers here and there.
yeah, I'm going to be handing over Bishop to another writer, so I can't make big changes to the character.
Editorial beat you to that one, Kevin. What's the next question? Actually, there's a picture I wanted to show. You mentioned one of the books. Derek, can you bring that up? Dr. Wizard, are you there? There he is. Here it is. You mentioned Unbreakable X-Men.
Yeah.
This solicit came out today. I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I see on the cover Temper and Fandom, my new favorite, Black Love, Super Love. Who are these other characters we see in the background here? Or who are the other characters in general?
That's the new Spider-Girl character. That's a mutant, but it's because I think her power, I'm not sure, I've not read it, but I think her powers are like sync, that she can pick powers of people close to her. So, but she has picked the powers of the spider people. So it's Spider
Nice.
Girl. Yeah. So I think the character behind is Dome. That's one of the new Avon characters that can create a dome. That can create this shield. I think that's
Dome?
I don't know who that other person is.
Huh. I was wondering if that that it's hard to make it a little bigger. The costume of the person you said was Dome, I thought that might have been what do you call it? Monica Rambeau.
A lot of people thought it was Monica Rambeau, but I think it's Doom.
Dome. That's a brand new character?
Yeah, is her name Doom, Antoine?
That's what I think so. I think so.
Yeah, from the Uncanny X-Men run.
Yeah.
Like the daughter of the farmer.
Yeah.
The daughter of the farmer.
Yeah, because they're at Haven House.
Oh, in Louisiana.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, her. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, she had this power when she was with Nightcrawler, and something spilled on them, and she created this force field.
This the character in the foreground here, is that Gambit?
That's Gambit.
Like
That's Gambit.
Old man Gambit?
Yeah, old man Gambit.
And Antoine, do you know who the character with the wings is?
I do not. No. I do not know who that is.
This just two more questions on this. This spider character, what ethnicity is she? Do we know?
I've not caught up on the Spider Girl comic.
I'm not familiar with that either. Is this the first appearance in this book, or has she been somewhere else before?
No, she's in current books with Spider
She's
Boy.
in current books. I haven't seen this one. All right, but by my count, 1, 2, 3 black X-Men on a team. Now, for those black comic lords out there who are familiar with the rule of three, Dwayne McDuffie's rule of three, what does that make this?
A black book.
Shh, Maria, you're not supposed to say it out. You're like your own worst enemy. We'll just leave it out there. Rule of three, Unbreakable X-Men. Who's writing this book?
Gail Simone.
Gail Simone's gonna be writing this?
Yeah,
Gail
and
Simone's
Lucas
been
Wernick
doing
on art.
All right. I'm going to be adding this to my pull list.
Worth it. If you've seen the preview pages by Lucas Wernick, damn,
looks really, really good.
It's Galactus's head in the shadows. Oh my god!
Yeah.
And the Avon home, and shit! It's shit.
For those
It's
of you who have not been following
It's
Gail
gorgeous.
Simone on Uncanny X-Men, she's doing a really kick-ass job. She just did the what was the name of that? The subplot story with Henrietta.
Oh, right. That dimension. I can't think of the name.
Geez, why am I having a brain fart right now? Anyway, she introduced a group of black mutants back in the 1920s, early 1800s, late 1800s. A storyline involving another dimension and just crazy stuff. I've enjoyed it. So if she's writing this, and then Lucas is going to be the artist on this.
Lucas Wernick is on art, and he's killing it. Like, dude, like he did career defining work in Storm. He's now doing like career redefining work on this. Like those pages are sick.
Right, this is about to be this might end up being my second favorite X book after yours. All right, let's just do a couple more super chats here, acknowledgments. You have some here.
If we could, before we get to that, there is one Stormcaster that wasn't able to make it tonight that really wanted the question asked. I said I would ask it.
Sure.
So one of them was they wanted to know how you plan to foster a permanent relationship between Storm and Eternity and what that would look like.
If indeed there will be a relationship.
Spoiler. Okay. And then the second one was, will we see new abilities from Storm other than her usual ones?
It's good to, like I said, I don't know if it's me that I'm the one putting that, cage on myself. I've mostly been using established Storm's powers. because new creator, all those stuff, because they're like, ah, yeah, that book is trash because of this. The reason why we can, defend this book is like, yeah, name one new power that she has used.
Mhm.
But in issue 12, technically, she's going to use one new power set, I think.
Okay.
I think.
All right. Let's see. Shout out to Azazel Valentine. Thank you for the super chat. I have black hair and technically fangs. I'm the father, guys. I was told not to spoil.
I believe it's
All right. I already consulted with the elder gods. This storm one will keep going strong. From your lips to God's ears.
Thank you for that consultation.
thank you. Just make sure it's not Cthulhu you consulted.
Or Dormammu or something. All right, I'm Mephisto because we don't want to make that deal.
No. God.
All right.
Mhm.
I think that's everything. Everyone, thank you for your joining us tonight. Azazel is the pappy. Jangle Leg isn't the. Oh, geez. Henrietta Benjamin. Thank you, Derek. That was the name of the character created by Gail Simone.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining us. Are we back on our regular schedule now? You're gonna make us wait 6 weeks for the next issue. What's going on?
No. The next issue is just 2 weeks.
Yes.
This issue is in 2 weeks. So we'll be back
August
here in 2
6th.
weeks. Oh wow.
Yeah.
August 6th. Am I available? Am I gonna be here? I'll be here. I'll be here August 6th.
We'll be August 7th then.
It'll be August 7th. So August 6th is when the books drops. So we'll be back. So there you have it, everybody. Check us out. Next episode of Stormwatch, August 7th. Big things aguan.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Black Comic Lords. We got you.